up, Drake?
How you doing, Chess? We're back, guys. We had a couple technical difficulties here. All right, we just had to make a couple adjustments because we see what we're gonna have to do from now on. How are you doing, Chess? You missed the comments earlier. I guess everybody was waiting for you to come.
Oh, for real?
Right. We have to wait. You have to wait and ask. You have to ask Coach Carter when you see him in the chat room.
Coach Carter.
Yeah, he will tell you there. I'll give him the honor since he was the one that said. You have to wait and ask. You have to ask Coach Carter when you see him.
Okay, let me see what I've got an echo tonight. Let me see what's wrong over here.
No, that's me. That's me.
Okay.
That's me. There we go.
Cool.
I said. And that's what it is. So we're gonna give everybody a couple minutes to get back in the room.
Yeah.
I see. As you see, the games will never stop. But see, that lets you know right here that this is a very good show, right?
Well, I told you
to be here.
I told you to just go ahead and enjoy your celebrity. I told you that a long time ago.
You didn't know that? I'm the shit, man, right here. That's how you know right there. I know I'm the shit. Thank you, guys. Right there. We appreciate the show right there. We appreciate all your hard work that you guys have done and wasting all your time. We appreciate that shit.
That's it. I told you.
I'm a star now, guys.
Oh, my gosh.
And why we're doing right that, because you see the crap we have to go through, but please make sure you like, share, subscribe, and definitely hit that donate button down there because we just need to get paid just to deal with that shit. Let me
you know what?
Get everybody back up in here.
Cool.
Because letters have to be added.
Yeah, nobody else is in there yet.
If you need to be added, just let me know and I'll add you manually.
So is this just the I had the Google. Okay, you still have a link on YouTube too? I said it's still open on YouTube too as well. Like I'm just in the Hangout window.
We'll be live.
Okay.
We're live now.
Okay. Let me go over there.
I don't see anyone in the chat. Is anyone in the chat typed?
I don't think so.
10 people already, so I know that.
Okay, yeah, 10 people watching. I see that.
Right, so we should be live.
Okay.
I don't know. The chat, it seems like it's not working. Give it a second.
Yeah.
As we say, I see already. We'll give everybody a moment here to sit up here and have their fun.
Yeah, it looks like everybody's coming over.
Right. Yeah, they're coming over here now. We'll get back to our scheduled program. The only bad thing is I just erased that one.
Right.
I'd say we were actually getting into a good conversation there.
Oh, just pick it back up. It's
all good. Shit, man. What as they say, whatever don't kill me makes me stronger.
That's it. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better.
Oh man, I still feel like crap though, man.
Okay.
I'm all stopped up. The only thing I can say, my voice is not going in and out. I added you, Leslie. I don't know why it's not allowing that. Let's see. But I did add you. You have been added. Well, look who it is. Mo Mitty. Haven't seen you in a long time. Is that who I think it is? That flat earth Mitty? Because the earth is round. I'm just gonna let you know that. It's not flat, it's round. See, we should have known that something was gonna happen though. We had Black Lives Matter in here. Shit always gets fucked up when they're involved.
That's it. Look, I was trying to put my logo back out there. I can't do it anymore. I gotta get Zilix back on here to help me. I'm like that. I was trying to give you a good laugh. I can't make it work anymore.
What? Where's your logo?
It's not working.
Oh man. There, go ahead and get Carlotta up in here. I see already. Oh, I understand, Matty. I said I hope you're not in part of that bullshit. But yeah. Oh man. But I guess what you got to do. You know, somebody pay you to do something, you'll do whatever you want. You're paid to do, including suck dick.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah, I do admit I said that shit. You're right about it.
TMI.
No, they know who that was for.
Wow.
Yeah, don't worry. I see right there. They don't have no life there, but don't worry about it. We won't put the link in the chat. We won't put the link in the chat no more. I figured that people just want to have too much. I figured that it already been enough time. But so if you want to be at, we'll just add you one at a time. That's how it is. That's how it is. Because I'm having actually trouble adding the other people. Like that, it's like I gotta sit there and I see that's the only bad.
Like a bony ass look. Oh, I'm sorry.
Gotta sit here. Yeah, okay, go ahead. I'm trying to get everybody back in the call. Yeah. There we go. Get Lethal back in here.
Crackhead's got computer skills.
Oh, yeah.
Mental illness is real.
You didn't know that. That's why we don't have to think about it. They don't have no TV. All the antennas gone, you know.
Crackhead's going wild. He pulling his shirt up and shit. Like the girl's going wild. We say crackhead's going wild.
Yeah.
Hungry bastard.
Yep. How do you privatize the link? I'm just not gonna post it anymore. So basically, if I don't add you, you can't get added. That's how. Since we got people that sit up here and want to be childish, that's what we're gonna do. See if we can get Leslie back in here, because he hasn't come yet. You got Raphael. Can you get Raphael, Carla? Anybody
he's here.
Yeah, he's here. Sir. All right, that is.
I'm here.
He's straight embarrassed himself for real, because this is a community of people that are more mature. Like our people over here, we're like mature. We don't be like cracking on people. We don't be talking about shit, you know, that's wrong, you know, being childish. And it's like you made yourself look like a straight idiot in front of a bunch of mature ass fucking people.
Right.
It wasn't even worth doing. It was dumb.
What happened?
He should be embarrassed.
But childish, that's what it is. I mean, they have no life. That's just what it is. But see, this is the problem is they miss me. That's all it is. They want me to come back, but I won't come back. That's all it is. That's really what it is. You know that guy.
Yeah, they like scoop you in the fuckery.
They're trying to take your host away from you guys.
Should I leave
and go back? That's what it is. They miss me.
Yeah, well, I said this is what proves a person is a good person. Good people get fucked with. And I said the skinny dude just proved it. Because I'm not familiar with his slappy hoe or whatever his name is. I'm like this. It's just retarded.
But yeah, we're going to go back on to our topic there.
Straight up.
We're going to we didn't spend enough time wasting times on the idiots right there. You know, they'll still be there with their mouths wide open. So, I mean, that's just what it is. But back, what were we saying before then now? We're talking about the children. I know that we're talking about children and the teachers and stuff in school.
I was just logging on, so I was just jumping in.
Now we already know about you. You probably up there. I said you probably brought him in here. We know Black Lives.
We were talking out
there, like y'all did. Bernie Sanders.
That was horrible timing. I was just coming on.
We was talking about like, you know, these when you call these companies and these foreigners be lying and talking about their name, they got these American names and they're not American.
Oh, definitely that. I mean, this is one of the things we was even saying. We set up something where we go, you know what? Look, you know, you'd be like, your call is important to us. You're like, look, motherfucker, can I pay $5 and talk to a motherfucker that speaks English?
That's insane, because I think I
'Cause you
think
ever
that
notice that?
compromises our. I think that compromises our security.
Right.
Because how do I know
Yeah.
Bubumbo is not sitting there writing my shit down?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How do I know? You put me in a position where I got to give them my credit card information, my social security number, some shit like that.
Right.
You know, I really believe we are putting ourselves at, at risk,
But
having to
see,
talk to this
I
outsourced
tell you this:
bullshit.
Well, and
there's
what's
a
so bad is, the
there's a
code
movie about this.
overseas, and that's the number one area right there. When it comes to hacking and shit overseas, all that shit, all your hacking and shit comes from overseas. Anybody that
But
knows?
Yes.
Dre,
Yeah.
Carlotta, and the rest of y'all,
What's
have
that?
y'all
Yeah.
ever seen this movie called? I think it was called
No.
Outsourcing. Or, I,
What
wa-
up,
I
Jay? How you
I
doing, man?
I watched this movie in college, and it was
Uh-huh.
basically about a guy who his company sent him to India
Uh-huh.
to train uh, to work at this call center to train a bunch of Indians.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And in the process, he's learning the culture over there and all that stuff. And I was like, oh, this makes sense now. Because every time you call, like, shit, I remember one time I called T-Mobile. These son of a bitches almost cost me my number. This is when I first got
Mm-hmm.
this phone number that I have now. And I went because I was on a T-Mobile prepaid, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to get the contract because I can get better phones over there for a better price.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay. I called them. These motherfuckers told me to deactivate my line and then um deactivate my line because I had a new number on the new line. So they was like deactivate the old line, the prepaid line, and I'm like, okay. So I did the shit, and I say
She's so
about
pretty.
I had to wait like an hour call back. They caught that shit right in time. They caught that shit right in time. The
Uh-huh.
person obviously gave me some fucked up information, you
Uh-huh.
know. And I say, see, this that bullshit. I'm like, why in the fuck is it that every time I call these call centers, I'm talking to these goddamn foreigners, man?
See, and let me tell you, they don't adhere to FCC laws either. Because with FCC laws, you're not supposed to curse or use bad foul language. And they be like, fuck, didn't I tell you? I tell you one time, fuck, didn't I say? And I'm like, did he just say fuck? And I'm like, oh my God. I know I'm
You know
not talking to
what?
somebody in
You know
America
what's so
now.
funny? See,
Hmm.
not only that, but you gotta understand, you have these scams going on right now, right?
Yes,
Right.
sir.
Where, um, let's say you took out a payday loan, them
Oh,
online
Lord.
payday loans. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the funny thing is, you know how many times I've been threatened by them motherfuckers?
Oh, hell yeah. They'll
And
cut
they be
your ass
like,
out.
they be like, oh yeah, well, we're gonna send the police over there and blah blah blah. I say, well, look, y'all have my address on file. Send them motherfuckers. I'll be here for the next hour. I'm not even gonna
Right.
leave the house till they get here. I always call
Mm-hmm.
people bluff, man, because see, a lot of these debt collectors, they use these strong arm tactics, which is illegal. And what I've learned to do when they get to doing that shit, I say, when they start talking about, oh yeah, criminal charges and stuff, it's like, oh, then I just go into my speech on them. I say, according to the FDCPA, you are
Mm-hmm.
not supposed to speak to me in that manner or use that type of use any of that threatening stuff.
Exactly.
And I'm going to I'm going to add insult to injury with telling you this. Any further, I'm asking you, do not contact me anymore. Now, if you call me again, that's considered harassment. Do I make myself clear? Anytime I use that speech, the motherfuckers get off the phone with me.
Maryland, you're not even
Yeah.
supposed to do any type of online is prohibited. That like money lender stuff online. So it's like I don't think the companies really were aware of that, or they don't think that the clients are aware of that. And I found that shit out. I had done two in 2010, and they had the audacity to call me like last 2 months ago and was like, I don't care. You're going to pay this now. You're going to send this money. I'm like, look, Slim, for real, I ain't sending you shit. You should have never gave it to me in the first place. Click. I ain't giving you nothing. You should have checked me out. Shit, everywhere else check me out thoroughly. Check my credit. You should have checked the shit too. Dumbass
You know
nigga.
what's so crazy? I remember one time I had got a weird ass email from one of them, right? And it was like, and I didn't pay attention to the email address that it was sent from. So I called the number, and soon as I called, I mean, these motherfuckers is
Is that breathing?
raising their voice and shit. I say,
Uh,
it was a lady. And I'm like, hey, man. I say, hold on. Get your shit down a few decibels. So, of course, she's like, I say, I don't have a hearing aid, and that volume, that high volume is unnecessary. And she's like,
real.
well, you have to pay back now and blah, blah, blah. I say, really? And she was like, go to your local Walmart and get a green dot card. I say, you know what?
Hell
Fuck
no.
this. I say, go fuck yourself. So, of course, I
Mhm.
went back to the fucking email, and I said, let me look at this shit a little bit more detailed. And I saw the email that it came from. It said, I shit you not, it said fcc.gov@gmail.com. I say, are you fucking serious?
Damn.
I say,
See, I only
dude,
got smart with them when they got smart with me. It started out a nice
here's the
phone
thing.
call,
If you're not
but
tech savvy, you can easily get got. If you're
you gonna
not
talk
tech
to me like
savvy,
that? Hell no.
that's what I'm saying. If you're not tech savvy, like if you
Hmm.
didn't like, if you see an email like that, some people like us, we probably can catch it. But like,
Hmm.
think about the older people who are not into the emailing thing like that.
Yes. Oh my
They can
God, Lethal,
easily
that's
get
who's
got.
getting got.
Yep.
Yes. They making so much money off them old people, and we make it so bad. You got old people that just are lonely, period. You know what I'm saying? And don't have nobody watching, nothing they do. They don't have nothing else to do. All they see is somebody through a computer talking to them. Communicating through email or something. And that makes them
Hmm.
feel like, like somebody's paying attention to me. That's another thing. That's a good thing that you brought up, though, Letha. We that's another thing that us as a community got to start doing. We got to start looking out for our old folks. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
They
Really got to
are.
start looking out for them. Cause they come. I mean,
We
I had a
really do.
relative. I have a relative. I had a relative. She's gone now. She had Alzheimer's, but she had called herself letting some dude do little odd jobs in the house, and she was always one of those relatives that's like, "Oh, I'm fine," and but she by herself. She was always an independent type, Well, to make the long story short, we ended up going over her house. Shit was everywhere. This is when we found out she had Alzheimer's. Everything was everywhere. And my mother, she went and checked her bank account. She had, make long story short, $41,000 gone out of her account. Because they got a hold of her checkbook.
Yikes.
The motherfuckers got a car. If they sent the checks, they got a car, they got work done on the roof, and some more shit. Forged the handwriting. And all because she always seemed like the old person that was okay, didn't want you to bother with them. They all right. No. Mm-mm. That's why I tell anybody, make sure we stay close to these old people. We called the bank. The bank sat up there and said, well, she said it was okay for these charges because the bank had called because they said it was too many charges coming out of her account. You know what I'm saying? Because bank know when you old as hell, you don't make all this damn movement in your money. So they said they called and she said it was okay, but that was during the time that she was docu what do you call it when they diagnosed? She was diagnosed with
No,
Alzheimer's then, and the
no.
bank wouldn't give her money back. The bank wouldn't give her money back.
Damn.
She lost. She
Damn.
was school. She was a school teacher, and she had no children. That's why she had money like that. Because all she did was save her money and travel and shit. But she let some little motherfucker in here that call themselves doing odd jobs, and they sneaking and prugging around in the house and found her checkbook. And then had the damn wires to the damn phone cut because we was wondering why every time we called over here, that's what made us come over. Because we wondered why every time we called, the phone was busy. And it's like, we know she ain't got no two-way lines and all that, because she still had that old folks phone with like only one line and shit. So every time we call, the phone busy. We get over there. The first time we came over there, okay, the wire cut. So we thought, well, maybe she'd have ran like the little cart stand that's in the kitchen. She ran it over with it or something. It got old. So I was the one who took the line out, put a new line in there. So then I say about 2 months later, same goddamn thing happened. And that time we came over there, that's when everything was a mess. And looked down in the floor, the line was cut again. They was making it so that she didn't have no communication with nobody, because they noticed wasn't nobody coming to see her. So we got to look out for our old folks. You know what I'm saying? Especially when they ain't got no children, you know, or whatever. But that's a good thing that you brought out, Leith. I don't know if he gone, he dropped off, but that was a good thing that he said.
Story.
Huh? I try to tell it as fast as I can, because I don't want nobody to think that I'm trying to take up other people's time to talk. That's why I be trying to talk real fast. But, yeah, I just wanted to say, you know, we got to look out for our old folks. So.
I agree.
All they gotta do is make me a beneficiary on their life insurance. That's all.
I'm going to beat your ass, though. You done just messed it all up. You know what? I know where you live. Anyway.
Can I be a beneficiary on your life insurance policy?
The devil's a lie. Hell no. Shit, I better make sure I got that shit right. I don't want to end up like my mother. I told Dre that earlier. She thought that the policy paid off for me and my son to collect in the event that something happened to her. But she had the policy wrong. It was in case me and him died, she would get paid. So we didn't get shit.
At least leave me your records or something.
Right.
Oh, hell yeah. That's another thing. I did, but you know what? That's okay. I didn't get left a whole lot of money or nothing like that, because she got a wealth of music. I mean, from early music, from the 78s to 33s to 12-inch, the goddamn 8-tracks, cassettes, CDs. She got all this shit. I mean, in abundance. You can like open up a store in here for real, and I have no idea what to do with it.
Give it to me.
Give? Nigga, you gonna give it to you one hand, and you gonna give me something back in the other hand. It's gonna be green.
My gratitude.
Say your gratitude, huh?
Yeah, you know.
Now some of it I'ma let it go. Some of it I'ma because I don't have patience with the eBay and all that old shit. I'ma just try to see if I could come across people that may be interested in some of the things.
Oh, yeah, what was I saying? Be sure to check the chat, the Hangout chat list. But yeah. Yeah! What the fuck?
Boy, seriously though? Your needing the hug ass need to chill the hell out.
Boy, you sound like he's sitting there. He sound like that, like me when they won the championship. Something, boy.
Shoot, I thought he had a mega troll or some shit. His ass do not need to be messing with no sugar after 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Slack's a little naughty buddy anyway. Hey, Miss Chesnubian.
Oh shit, that's Black Lives Matter over
What
there.
up, Carla?
We say Black Lives Matter right there, huh? So what's going on with them Black Lives Matter then? Cause I can't call it.
Hey, yeah, look, they're kind of quiet right now, I think.
Yeah, speaking of that, why haven't we heard from Black Lives Matter? Like in your group there, why haven't we heard from them?
Yeah. Because
They ain't popular no more.
Ain't nobody lying on them no more right now, that's all. Colin, what's with the football dude? He took over the
Copernic. Copernic or something.
Hernick took over.
Right.
What is he? Is he a black fella? Is he look light skinned or something?
Right.
Is he adopted?
Right.
Yeah, they said he was adopted, but he's.
And what was the thing? He sat down doing the Star Spangled Banner or something. Didn't want to stand up. What was the deal with that?
Yeah, he continued to sit or took a knee during the national anthem.
Well, maybe the nigga needs a leg to toes hurt or something. I mean,
he did it as a protest. He did it as a protest.
Oh Lord. Here we go. Getting us in trouble for more ignorant bullshit we got to answer for.
Nah,
It's like
hey,
light-skinned people starting shit.
oh, hey, he was exercising his right.
Okay.
Well,
Or
hold up,
maybe
hold
he was
up.
just exercising.
Well, check it out. Now, normally people complain. They go, "Oh, why you guys burning up your own neighborhoods? Why you doing this?" It's not the issue of how you protest. It's just that they don't want you to protest. Because
Yeah,
I'm
but
like,
what is we protesting for now? That's
well,
the
I
part I
mean,
don't understand.
when he said he was protesting because of I watched his speech. I think he was talking about like black folk being treated unfairly. He mentioned police brutality too. I have to look at it again, but
But shit, he 200 years late for that shit.
huh?
I said he 200 years late for all that bullshit. I mean, I'm just saying, now it's like we got to, if you can't do it collectively, at least try individually, meaning being positive or progressive. And then maybe one person to see what you're doing, and maybe they'll follow, and then get the next person follow. Maybe we got to do it like that. We got to do it as an individual basis.
Well, that's what he's doing. That's what he did.
Cause trying to do shit on a group base ain't working.
But
It's hard to be progressive. Everybody ain't got insurance.
but I think there have been some other athletes as well that have done their silent protest. They just you know how it goes. The media picks what they want to pick, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because
That's true.
there's been other athletes that have done it.
But Chess, people can't relate to all that because them people's got money. They could go either one way today and be another way tomorrow. That's the
Jim Brown,
unfairness of it.
Muhammad
Well,
Ali.
I mean, this man don't stand up today. Now it may come a situation later on. He's standing up and twerking and some more shit later. You know what I'm saying? It's like
but
they're nigga wearing this sitting down. You know what I mean?
hey, well,
See?
you heard what Slack said though, right?
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali.
Jim
Yeah.
Brown.
I mean, I don't know.
It's nothing he hasn't done. I mean, he didn't do anything new. It's just it's not popular. Like I said, people are a hypocrite. Look how everybody went crazy over it. But
But
before,
the difference is that he got white parents.
okay, yeah, but you see how quick he got called the N word afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
I'm
said.
pointing that out to show
Before,
how ridiculous it is.
right, exactly. It's like when people are
But
burning
what
down
color
their
his
own
parents got to
neighborhoods,
do with it?
huh?
I mean, because during like, slavery under Underground Railroad, you had white people that was helping get slaves to freedom. So what color do it matter to somebody's parents?
It really don't matter, Carla, because he's mixed and he was adopted by two
Well,
white parents.
he didn't.
I think it matters I think it matters
It matters
regarding
to
the
the white people.
individual. I don't care what color their grandparents and mom and daddy is.
Right.
I go by what they do because if they got a gun, they're the ones that's going to shoot me, not their mom and their daddy.
Right. Well, Carlotta, so he's protesting injustice. Now,
Right.
if it just so happens that most of the injustice is done to darker skinned folk, well, then that's just how it is. I don't
But
think he
that's what
came
we
out.
need to be seen as collectively. See, it's like this division needs to stop. Like it's like one thing is led or believed by light skin or it seems to apply to lighter complexion people. And then you got some things that seem like, oh, the race is hard when it when regards to let dark skinned people tell it. You know what I mean? It's like we got to see where it's hard all the way round. You get what I'm saying? Like, I can't describe it, but it seemed like the more prejudice is more so seem like, or people that get burdened by it are people of a darker hue, as opposed to people that are a bit lighter.
Mm,
Okay, I can understand that in some
yes,
ways,
sir.
but
I mean, like if you could like me, right? I'm not a dark complected person, but you can sit here and say nigga, 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 call me a nigga bitch, call me, a bed wench. You could call me all kinds of shit. It will not affect me. But yet, it's still, I got a girlfriend that's dark skinned, and if you call her a nigga bitch or something like that, it will hurt her.
Hmm.
And I've seen that. I've seen darker complected people be affected by, racial words or treatment more than lighter complected people. Dead ass. I
Yeah,
lie to
yeah,
you
yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah.
It's really weird. I got to the point that I thought white people considered you more a nigga based on how dark you were. Be because I'm always seeing them being more aggressive and evil towards darker complected black people. It's just something I noticed, that when I was coming up. I'm not
Right.
saying what I'm saying is true. It's just something I noticed a little bit.
Right.
And
Right.
everybody that talks the issue about racism and how, bad it is for us and on us and this and the third has always been the people that were always vocal were darker complected people. I've never seen light skinned people come out and be like, we need to make the society change and let's, make a protest and shit like that. I ain't never seen no light skinned people do that.
Oh no, that's not true now.
Not to the point where, it really gets like acknowledged for real.
Right.
Right. Well, Kaepernick is one of your he's a light skinned one for you.
Yeah, but see, nobody's really, everybody just looking at him like he's silly or something. But let it been like somebody that's, like one of your dark skinned players or something. Then it's like, what? Why did he do that? You know what I'm saying? It's like, like Michael Vick, like let him do that shit. You know what I
Right.
mean? Then it would have been like everybody would have noticed. But it's like, nigga, you light skin, go sit your ass down. Just like when Jesse Williams said this little shit. Ain't nobody paid it no mind. It's like, nigga, you light skin, shut the hell up. You know what I mean? See, ain't
Yeah.
nobody paid him no mind.
Well, yeah, they both had
So I think we got a racial issue within a racial issue.
well, that's always been prevalent. That's a carryover from back in the day too.
We need to fix that, I think, or acknowledge or understand that, and then move on, and then have others or get others to respect us as a race or culture or whatever. Because if we not understanding our own shit and we all scattered within ourselves and colors and shit like that, how the hell we going to expect everybody else to respect where the hell we coming from?
Right.
Well, I mean, it's always been like that though. But you still, I mean, you just
I know
still,
that.
yeah, you just
We
still
know
gotta.
that because we smart like that. But a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, they ain't looking at it like that.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Because you got some people that think they not black and they ain't even nowhere near like white, damn near white. And they swear they ain't black at all.
Right.
Well, I've seen a lot of people, pull that line, but I'm not even gonna lie. My grandmother, she's dark skinned, she, darker than me. But the reason why,
Mm-hmm.
my grandfather, I need to show you a picture of him. He's,
Mm-hmm.
much lighter than my son. And I'll say it like that. And one of the things my grandma said, she wanted a light skinned black man because she wanted her, kids to be light skinned because, they're from West Virginia. And
Uh-huh.
she realized that light skinned people did fare better when it comes to getting jobs and stuff like that. You were considered, you would be listened to first when you were trying to get a job. And
That's
it did
right.
help. I'll say that that is true in a way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's unfortunate, but it's true.
Right.
It seems like people keep trying to leave that little part out. You know what I mean? And it's like, I mean, once we can get on that, and fix that and make that make sense, then I think, it shouldn't be, we can come together collectively after that. Until then, there's always going to be not only trying to do the blame game and blame other cultures and white folks and all that old shit. We got to get our own understanding of color together first. Instead of using other people and white folks as an excuse, because that's all the hell it is.
Right. Right.
You think his protest was using white folk as an excuse?
All the protesting, I think it is, because
No.
we can't. I know what I'm saying is nobody can. It's already a complex issue about color when it comes down to us as black folks anyway.
Hmm.
So nobody wants to really, dissect that shit. So we'll like just use white folks as the problem behind all that. That's all I'm saying. Instead of like dealing with the fact about our different shades or seeing us as being all the same despite the fact of our different shades and this, that, and the third. Society has divided us up. Society say, oh, well, if you black, get back. You light, you white, you look white, then you all right, and all that old shit. You know what I'm saying? This is the part we need to get over. Because during the migration period, where after slavery, the Reconstruction era, a lot of them, which moved up to the north, and they was able to get jobs because they were passing for white. That's what they call passing. Because
Right.
a lot of black people look like they was white.
Did you saw what everybody's familiar with that movie Imitation of Life, right? Everybody watched that?
Oh my God, yes, girl, love it. Both versions, love it to death.
Right. So I mean, it's just it's a sad state of affairs.
And that's the
It's still the
thing.
same.
And that's exactly how people treated their parents. The ones that had black parents, but yet still didn't acknowledge them. Because they was too busy living white life.
Right.
And see, we got to, deal with that. We got to understand that and respect, each other based on that color scheme of things.
Right.
Because we all niggas today. It ain't no such thing as, you got white people that's niggas now. So, I mean, the way our government is making it, everybody is a victim of some shit today, especially economically. So to me, that's why I don't even understand the racial issues going on right now when the big ass problem is the economy.
Well,
And
like
y'all
you said,
trying to get me to get
like
mad at white folks and black people. Shit, I'm getting mad at that green. That's what I'm getting mad about.
well, that's the real story.
Hell yeah.
The racial, the whole black white thing is
That's
just
a distraction. Right.
Cover up, because I mean that's really what it gets down to.
That's right. That's right. Because the big picture is that damn money.
Yeah. And that's why. Well, I think, dude. I mean, like I said, he exercised his right. So I just thought it was funny how everybody attacked him for it, and he's losing sponsorship. That makes no sense. I'm like, that's supposedly what America's all about. You should be able to, no matter what it is, no matter if somebody agrees you don't like dogs or whatever, you can protest against white dogs.
Well, that's one of the things I mentioned. We were talking about that earlier. I said the thing is, everyone sits here and, like we say, I use the term like this. Michael Jackson was the first to do his style of dancing and do all of this and do that. Now, if you ever notice, Chris Brown, Usher, they kind of adopted that style a little bit, but kind of put their own little twist on it. Right. But you got to give credit to the first, because Michael Jackson was the one who was not it was unproven, untested, and he went out there to do it first. So that's why I say it takes a very strong person to go ahead and say,
he made it popular.
I'm going to do it first. That first person, like, think about it, that first slave that said, you know what, fuck that shit, I'm running away.
Right.
You got to give more credit to that person, because if it wasn't for them, and this is one of the problems I see with this, is we're penalizing the people who want to make a stand for something. And to me, it takes a strong person to make a stand. Anybody could be a follower, but it takes real truth and courage, especially when you got 20, 30 motherfuckers telling you you're wrong, to step out on your own.
Right.
I never thought about running shows on my own and doing none of this stuff, but I had a couple people that said, yeah, you know what, you could do it. If it maybe wasn't those right people, like Raphael, you being there at the time, I don't think I'll be doing this. Right. I will admit that. I will admit, if it wasn't for you, Leslie, KP coming out right in the beginning and say, you know what, Dre, just go ahead and do your thing, I wouldn't have done it.
Right.
And
you're talking about
sometimes it's very hard to stand on your own, especially when you don't have no backing. And that's one of the things I look at when we raise these young people. We raise these kids and we don't stand behind them. We basically always tell them what to do. We tell them, well, we want them to be their own and grow up to be their own person. But the problem is, too, we don't support them.
That's right.
Right.
We do not support them at all.
But, and like you said, Dre, you're talking about first, like when you look at athletes, he's doing stuff that's already been done. Slacks mentioned Muhammad Ali. Think about the brothers in the 1968 Olympics that held up their one
and
fist.
they got their medals taken.
Right. Exactly. So exactly. Nothing's changed, right? Right. So you making a protest, you know what I'm saying? So it's like that's the BS of America. You know what I mean? Right. You're supposed to be able to do that. And so it's nothing new. I mean, it's just like, he's getting beat up because they're saying, hey, you're privileged, you got a lot of money, you were raised by, white family, so shut up. It's crazy.
But
Chess,
it's crazy. Oh, go ahead.
Hold on.
Go ahead, baby.
Let me get your opinion on something, Chess. How you feel about Serena Williams crip walked in at the Olympics?
Oh my God.
Did she? I didn't see that.
Oh, yeah, she walked at the Olympics.
He did.
What?
Did the crip walk?
Hey, well, yeah, that's.
I still think that's a dude, but okay.
Oh, Serena's not a dude.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, hey, she was just dancing.
No.
Slacks. She was just dancing. That's just like guys dancing when they make a touchdown, right? Unfortunately, I guess the crip walk is gang affiliated.
Didn't they
right?
they stopped that like when the guys used to make a touchdown, wiggly legs and stuff.
They can still dance, right?
Yes.
They didn't take that out. Cause somebody tried to tell me that they made that a band that or something.
No, they banned players using the word nigga
Okay.
on the fields.
But Slacks, I think she's cool with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on my computer right now, Andre.
Okay, you got control of the room too.
Okay, cool. All right, thank you.
Slacks, what do you think about it? He's watching football.
But
Slacks, man.
he big football fan. We heard him screaming.
Yeah, I know.
Nothing wrong with that.
I mean, was he being, he tells a lot, he likes to joke a lot. Was he being real or did she really crip walk?
Good.
I'm not sure.
My question is, how do we know, like, when people are, like, they say they get their endorsements taken or whatever, how do we know that?
Well, technically,
How do we know that they're getting them taken for real?
Well, good point.
Some of those are public information because a lot of times when they do sever their contracts, they do let it know publicly because basically they have morals clauses in that. Because if we look at Tiger Woods, look how many people dropped him. Tag Hewler, all them people dropped him.
But the thing is, he can afford to be dropped. I mean, look how much money he had anyway.
Well, some people technically, if you really think about it, everyone could be afford to be dropped. Because think about it, there's some people that's living on less than $600 a month.
Right.
So what? If
we get an endorsement.
It depends on, you just have to adjust your lifestyle. And
I don't think it affects them like that. And I just feel like when people have a higher level of income or whatever, right. I think they're in a position they can pretty much do what they want. But they'll give society the impression that, oh my God, this is going to affect us. In reality, it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? It's like they can still go to the market. They can still do the shit that we do basic every day. They can do 20 times a day if they want. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm not impressed when somebody says that somebody lost an endorsement or whatever. Tell me when the fuck their funds get frozen. Tell me when they didn't lost all their money and they ass is sitting on a curb somewhere eating out of a trash can.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this though. This is the thing.
Then I'm like, wow, that's so good.
No, but just because you make $20,000 a month, don't mean that this is one of the things that we know, especially with Black people. Every time we make more money, we increase our spending. So a person may make $20,000 a month, and he may spend 18.
Majority.
So he may not have that much more, actually put aside. Because that's one bad thing I'll say with us Black people. We spend money just as fast as we get it.
That's people that's not used to having it.
Right, but not even the fact of that. But think about it. Even if someone said, okay, fine, I'm just going to take 20% of what you make. That's still a lot of money when you think about it.
Right.
True.
It doesn't. It's just the number may be bigger, but a percentage-wise is always going to hurt anyone.
But that's the same. That's almost the same as your income tax joints. You know what I'm saying? Like the Jackson Hewitt, they're gonna take $600 out your damn income tax refund. It's like, okay, as long as you get that. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can't get mad over something that you ain't had yet. Or had in your hand.
Mm-hmm. Right. All right, guys. Look. Calm down in the chat. Right? Like I said, I'm not gonna go up there and read that and what we do all like that. I don't know. Like new people, if there's somebody new in there and they ask you to do this crap. Right, like I said, we're not stooping down to the little dumb and immature shit. We already had our one ignorant motherfucker for the day. All right? Mm-hmm. That's just what it is. We're not trying to sit up here. Like I said, on my show, we don't fight. We sit here and have debates about topics. And the only thing is we fight opinions. We don't fight each other.
Right.
All right. Hey, so Coach Jay, relax. I don't know what's going on. You know, I don't feel like going back there to read all the crap, but we just gonna relax and it's
I
called.
saw what he said about me, but that doesn't bother me.
It's over
It's
with
silly.
now. First one to speak on it. First one to speak on it. Just please, will someone just leave it alone? Thank you. All right. But back to what we were saying. We already got enough. Plain and simple. This is one of the problems is why we got to act ignorant. That's the problem. I don't understand it. Evidently, that's what it is. People love to act ignorant, especially black people. I don't like to see black people act ignorant. Because even when I get upset and I act ignorant, I think that I hurt all black people every time we do that.
Right.
You hurt all black people. Why? Because why? You got hundreds of thousands of people out there that may see this. Or either your kids may see, well, God, dog, dad's acting like a damn fool.
Right.
Dad, you said you would never go tell anybody about you wanted to, put somebody in the tub and flush them down. You know what I mean?
Right.
You don't need, kids don't need to be hearing that. Think of,
I think we are kind of a little bit more positive. Because nobody comes out here with attitudes or trying to outbest anyone or whatever. That's just childish, and you get to a level in life and an age, and so that shit is just retarded. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Here's the thing. We as black people, we try to destroy each other, and on this forum, on this platform, we're not going to do that. Like you said,
I've already got a text from a friend of mine that told me that there's a fake account. So basically, if you guys get anything and it says it's me, it's probably not. There's a fake account using our name.
Oh, wow.
In my picture.
That's
So just to let you guys know, there is a fake account out there.
Oh, okay.
That's sad.
People perfecting their skills.
Yeah.
They're hacking
instead of
skills.
doing something positive with it, Instead of doing something positive with it.
I'll tell you what, I don't see where there's room to scream and cry and whine about how the white man is keeping black folks down.
That's what I'm saying.
We're our own worst enemy.
Yes,
Yep.
we fucking go out of our way to destroy
people. I ain't even gonna lie, but the most person who's helped me is actually my friend. I said that I work for. One of the guys here is a white guy. Never, and I do admit we've had things, and I've even told him. I said it's like, and I know he don't like to comment on certain things because he's a black white man. But I told him, I'm gonna tell you, I never really had as many problems with white people as I have with black people. Black people, I hate to say something.
Same here.
We're more destructive than anyone else. That's one of the problems. This, and that's one of the things I always say. We got to stop blaming the white man for our problem.
But who is blaming the white man? Who are y'all talking about?
No,
Black Lives Matter.
No.
You asked the question.
No. Black Lives
They're
Matter.
very few and far between.
Look, we don't want to go through that again. But Black Lives Matter was against police brutality. It wasn't about white
police
versus
brutality.
black. No, it wasn't. It was police brutality.
But why are we not attacking people on people brutality?
No, I well, that's what I'm saying.
You got to read between the lines, Chess. It's
no.
Yes.
No.
Because when black cops shoot black people, they're nowhere to be found.
Pookie shoot Ray fast more times in a month than a white cop shoots a black guy.
When you look at the headlines, it's always white cop shoots unarmed black man. If it wasn't about race, there'd be no white or black.
That's about the media. That's about propaganda for the media because cops are killing.
That's the only time you see black lives matter.
Look, cops are killing everybody. They're not just killing. Yes, that is true.
Okay. As far as races, yeah,
that's what I'm saying. But the media. Come on now, you already know what Malcolm X said about the media. It's the most powerful force there is because if you depend on everything you see there, they're going to skew it, right? So of course.
Now here's the thing: those idiots that have been taking out cops, they have not taken out any black cops. It's been
they're wrong, and they are wrong. They are totally wrong.
But I'm just saying,
I think that's bullshit.
Why wouldn't you see any black cops killed? They haven't killed any black cops.
Because they are wrong and ignorant. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But that doesn't
all the cops that I've known have been assholes was black. So I don't understand none of this shit.
Okay.
I mean, there are some. I've ran into a couple assholish white cops too. But the thing is, you got to learn how to play the game with them. You can't act like a fucking idiot back with them because you'll make yourself. You're not going to win in that fucking game. You're not going to win.
Thank you.
So you got to play. You got to play the game intelligently.
You sit up here and get smart, and then cop shoot you in your ass, then I'm not gonna feel sorry for you.
How many? Oh yeah, I totally agree. But how many? Well, we don't know. How many Tamir Rices do we know about? How do you explain any cop?
Very few.
I don't know what. I don't care what color. But how do you explain any cop that rolls up on a kid with a toy gun in a playground, and by the time they open their door, they have already shot and killed this kid?
But you got to also look at what you can't. You can't just look at the last few dominoes in the pile. You got to look at what toppled the first domino. That's what you got to look at. You got to look at that first snowflake that started that avalanche.
He might have been shell-shocked from being in the military and shit.
No,
been in one of them countries with them little kids. I know, but that cop might have been shell-shocked from being in one of them countries that the little kids be having guns and shit. It probably
you don't even have
something back in his mind.
You don't have to go that far. You got a kid that's out there. Obviously, he's threatening someone because
he was not. He was in
the cops. And then why would
he had a fake gun?
Leslie, come on, guys.
Why would someone?
He had a fake gun.
I don't. Why?
But if a fake gun, here's the thing. Let me explain this to you. Okay, a fake gun has different colors on it. It's got an orange nozzle. It'll be different colors. There's something to distinguish that. When you modify it to where it looks like a real gun, you're wrong.
This one, yeah. Right.
And that gun was modified. Whatever distinctions were taken off to identify that as a toy gun.
Right.
Why would you? Me as a parent, I would never allow my kid to get to that point. So we got to go back to the parenting. That's what the problem is. It's not the cops. It's the problem. We got to look at.
So you're telling me that cop was justified in killing that kid?
What? Tamir Rice?
If the child had a modified gun, yeah.
Let me answer the question, Carlotta. Hold on. If I don't know what the laws are as far as what's legally justified and what's not in that area, but I know what started the problem. It was the fact that a parent allowed their underage child, to have a modified toy gun that looked real. So people were justifiably threatened, and they called the police on them. And as a police officer, and being even me as a Marine, I don't take you have any type of weapon at all, and it's in any way, shape, or form in position to be used against me lethally, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to take you out. That's just it, bottom line. I'm not going to risk my life
trying to figure
figure out whether it's fake or not. It's not fucking working. These cops died too damn quick. I was reading a story about a cop, and I think it was in Louisiana. It was a female cop. All she did was pull the suspect over, get out, and walk to the car. The girlfriend testified that the boyfriend had already said when the cop pulled him over, "I'm killing this fucking pig. I'm killing him." And he was reaching in the glove, getting the fucking gun ready, and she was telling him not to. As soon as that cop pulled up, he shot her. Got out the car and pumped 7 more shots into her while she was laying there.
Damn.
That fucking quick. So you don't have time to sit up here and figure out who's good and who's bad. You just don't fucking know. That's the reality of it.
Yeah.
I got what you. It's a dangerous job. I got it.
It is.
I would never want to be a cop. I hate to say that, but I mean,
that's what I'm saying. If you're not willing to do the job, then you've got to step back and respect those who are willing to do it. Unless you want to get out there and do that job yourself, it's just like same thing. I hate people that sit up here and talk about the military. I wouldn't want to do that. Not willing to volunteer to go overseas and fucking fight.
I wouldn't want to do the job because I don't want to be the cop that kills a kid with a toy gun. Because I couldn't live with that. I couldn't live with that.
But you can't get mad if
I'm not mad.
Hold on. You don't want You don't want to be that cop that ends up dying that fucking quick to a fucking thug that takes that chance. That's also what you don't want to be.
A thug and a 12-year-old kid is, well, I mean.
Don't think a 12-year-old can't be a thug.
And I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I mean, we have to take each case at its own merit.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
Tess, go on YouTube and look up Chicago drill rap. You will see 9-year-old kids holding fucking blocks.
I'm not naive. I'm not naive.
Talking about killing niggas.
Look, I'm not naive. And look. And if a cop rolls up on a kid with a Glock, okay. I'm just not gonna get on board.
And that's the thing, Chester. When you roll up on someone, you cannot distinguish. When you roll up on someone, they have a firearm that is all black with no distinctions on it whatsoever. You can't tell whether it's a toy at that point. You can't fucking tell.
I guess I have to see this kid's
Tamir
gun.
Rice thing, in a Tamir Rice situation, I will admit they handled that thing wrong. And
I'm
this
sorry.
the reason why I'm like this. I'm fine. If they would have said we came up to him and they did everything right and then shot his ass, I wouldn't even have a problem with it. Even if it could have been a toy gun, it could have been a red gun he painted black. I wouldn't give a tip because he had a modified gun.
Okay, but who gives a fuck at that point? What started it, Andre? What fucking started it? That's what.
No, but the reason why I'm mad at the police is this is what they did. Maybe because I live here in the city, so we hear more about it. This is actually what they did. They actually lied in their statements at first, and then they were caught in bold-faced lies.
Yeah.
I agree. That's a problem.
Once you lie, you're done.
Yes,
and hold up.
If they would have rolled up and said, "Look, I rolled up on him. I thought he was reaching for the gun, and I shot him." Okay, fine. But when fact is, you lied and said, "Yeah, we went up to him. We tried to talk to him. We tried to do all this other shit." And then wait a minute, they didn't know there's a video across the street that was recording them. And then wait a minute, you said you did all these three things. Well, the video shows you shot him in 2 seconds. That's when I'm like, oh shit. Once you caught in the lie, you're fucked. How you doing, Janine? Yes, we're back right here. Thank you guys. I want to tell you guys, thank you guys for coming out to the show. Please like, share, subscribe. Down there, please hit that like button down there because we done already got our roll of dislikes through here. But we love you guys out there. And as you see, the show keeps rolling. But going back, but one of the things that's the problem with that is he lied. Once you lie in the commission of a murder, you're done.
But check this out, Leslie. And I totally understand, the dynamics of everything. Yeah. But for us to try to say like, hey, well, you know what, we just got to give cops carte blanche on. Right. Okay, you're scared to kill people. I don't believe in that. I got it. It's a dangerous job, but I think there is a problem with our cops because they know when they kill people, especially a certain class of people, they are not going to get in trouble for it. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody's I don't know the numbers. I don't have the stats.
I have the stats. Last year, 500 something people were killed by cops. Okay, and this is justified and unjustified all together. Out of those 500 something people, less than 150 of them were black. Now you got to take that 150 of them that were black. Now, well, first of all, you're talking out of 350 million,
right?
United States, just under 350 million United States citizens. Only 500
you said only 500 people killed by the cops.
Yes, last year. Last year, yes. So 500 out of 350 million, stats-wise, is nothing. Is fucking nothing. So it's not a problem. It's not an epidemic.
Where do you get that stat from?
Oh fuck! It's been a couple months. I looked this shit.
I mean, I'll Google it up.
Yeah, see if you can find it. I believe it was the FBI.
So how many cops were killed by thugs or whoever?
Here, let me see. Let me pull it up real quick because I believe it was the FBI statistics I got it from because I was debating with someone about it.
I think the black on black crime is the problem.
That's a problem too, but
it's a bigger problem. You gotta look at.
I'm not saying that's not a problem.
Here's my.
But who's supposed to fix that?
Well, here's where the rationality is. Let's put this. Let me give this analogy. Okay, I'm a store owner, right? I've got a customer that comes in once a week and steals a Snickers bar. Okay, is the fact that person's stealing, that's a problem, right? Even if it's something as small as a Snickers bar every week they come in. Now I've got an employee who's stealing $500 out of the register every single day. Now, both of them are wrong for stealing, right? But does it make sense? It makes more sense for me to go after the bigger problem first, right? Okay, that's all we're saying is that is it a problem that cops kill people unjustifiably? Yes, it is. Is it an epidemic to the point where we need to overshadow blacks killing blacks when that's the largest problem? That's the largest form of.
Who is we? Who is we? Define we.
We as people.
We as black people.
Okay, I got two answers. I got we as people, then I got we as black people.
Okay. But that's the thing. The numbers, blacks killing blacks is way bigger. way, 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 way bigger. Blacks shooting blacks is way, way, way bigger than cops shooting blacks or cops shooting people, period.
Okay, so that means I shouldn't talk about any other injustice?
No, I'm not saying you shouldn't talk about it. What I'm saying is you shouldn't make it to the point where you make it seem like it's an epidemic when it's not, when the stats show that it's not. That's what I'm saying. It's not big enough to be out here protesting and talking about pigs in a blanket, farm like bacon, and we need to put all this attention on it because it's not that big of an, like I said, the attention needs to go to the employees stealing the $500 a day, not the fucking customer stealing a Snickers bar a week. Now, once you get that employee out of there and you solve that problem, then go ahead and get on the customer that's stealing a Snickers bar. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. I respect your opinion.
I will admit that.
No, it makes sense.
I think.
All I'm saying is this: if you're paid by the city and all like this, and you're paid by the city and you're supposed to, be protecting the city, I think every time they kill somebody, it doesn't matter, black, white, otherwise.
See, Andre, I don't mean to cut you off, but see, this notion that cops are supposed to protect you, that's bullshit. They're not your fucking personal bodyguards. All they're there to do is take a fucking statement, take a fucking report, and haul your ass off if you're fucking dead. Make sure the coroners come get your ass and investigate the scene and find the suspect.
Wait a minute.
That's what they're there to do.
I thought their mantra was protect and serve.
Yeah, like 40 fucking years ago, 50 years ago.
Changed?
That shit's no longer. They're not here to fucking protect you. Why do you think they have concealed carry laws? That's your responsibility to protect yourself, your family, and your property. It's not the cops. Their only job is to investigate, find a suspect, and fucking hand them over to the DA. That's all their job is. But they're not your personal bodyguards.
That's hard to do, especially
not personal body. Well, we already know where cops came from, but we don't want to go back to that.
Yeah, but I mean,
conceal the carrier. That's Second Amendment, actually. But
no, it's not. No, Second Amendment is to own firearms. Is to bear arms. It has nothing to do with concealed carry. Technically, they don't have to allow you to conceal carry. But there are a couple states that don't allow it.
I got
very
you.
difficult. But they can't stop you from owning a firearm.
Right. I got you. Okay, so you're saying
that's what the Second Amendment covers.
Okay, well, I thought cops were supposed to protect and serve. My
no,
bad.
They're supposed to. The cops' job is entitled to protect the laws of the land. They're there to enforce laws. The cops are a local branch of the executive government. An executive government, all their job is to enforce the laws that the legislative government makes. That's all they do. This is why it's important for us as black people, especially, to educate ourselves on how the system works and how the government works. That's one of the biggest things why we find ourselves in so much trouble, because we have such a lack of education for how our system works. And it can be used against us. Just like these fucking laws that the Clintons passed, where they're locking up black folks left and right. We don't know the fucking system, and they blame, it's the white man, it's the laws. No, fuck that. They're not locking you up because you're black. They're locking you up because you don't have enough money to hire someone to keep your ass out of fucking jail. And if you're smart enough and you're fucking poor, you don't break the fucking laws because you know your chances are slim to none. If you look at the stats and you look at the facts, poor white people get locked up just as much as poor black people. It's the motherfuckers with money, which is why you see people like O.J. Simpson that we know for sure committed that fucking crime. He was able to get off because he had fucking loot. It's not about race.
You think he did it? I think his son did it.
But that's the point. Black people are so uneducated that they come up with all these fucking conspiracy theories and these woe is me and these pity party fucking theories that this big faceless white boogeyman is fucking out to get them. It's not the fucking case anymore. It used to be 60 years ago and before, but it's not the case anymore. It just isn't. There are no laws on the books right now being practiced that are physically holding black people back.
Right.
Black people's lack of mental maturity and lack of morality that keeps them in these fucked up situations. I don't give a fuck if a white man kicks a kilo of fucking heroin on your goddamn porch. You still have a fucking choice to accept it or reject it. And black folks keep accepting that shit, and then they keep poisoning their own fucking people with the bullshit. Excuses. And then they want to blame the white man for it.
Damn, Leslie, you just sat up there and told the truth, brother. Nothing he said can be debated or disputed. That's for sure.
I'm tired of the fucking blame game, because you got people like me, you got people like Mad Black Atheist, you got people like Andre who have gotten up, we've started our own fucking businesses, and guess what? We haven't had a cross burned on our property. We haven't had any white people come and try to tear our businesses down or do anything like that. It's not gonna fucking happen. If you just shut the fuck up, roll your sleeves up, put a little blood, sweat, and tears in your fucking work, and you work hard, and stop trying to take the easy way out by trying to be rich on YouTube, trying to be a fucking rapper, trying to make fucking beats. You know, let's look at the numbers. Let's look at the odds. Okay, you want to be a rapper?
That to the
there's fucking 25 billion rappers out there, and how many of them make it famous? You're talking slim to fucking none. So why would you put, if those odds were on a Vegas betting table, there's no way you'd put your money down on those types of fucking odds. But why do we as black people gamble our lives on those shitty ass odds? Why do we do it?
I mean, I could see that being the ambition of a young person, but when you 40-something years old talking about you looking for a deal, it's like, this shit is comical to me, for real.
I saw this news excerpt, Carlotta, on the Detroit, on Fox 2 News. Some dude got fucking shot and killed at a gas station. And this is what they said. He was an aspiring rapper. Then when they showed his picture, this dude's in his mid fucking 40s, and his family sitting there talking about he was trying to get his rap career going. I'm like, are you?
Oh hell no!
Are you fucking shitting me? You don't see this shit.
That's embarrassing.
White folks get killed. You don't see them talking about they're trying to be an aspiring rapper at 45 years old.
That's embarrassing.
It's fucking embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And this is the thing. I don't blame white people for fucking painting everybody with the broad fucking brush. I don't. It's our fucking fault because we put ourselves out there. It's our fault.
Man, Leslie, I missed a lot of what you were saying, but I'm sorry.
Here's the thing. If I put on a police uniform and I go out in public, you think I have a right? You think it's reasonable for me to get mad when people start running up to me asking me for help?
To get mad if you're a cop?
No, I said if I put on a police uniform. I'm not a cop, but I put on a police uniform. I think it would be reasonable for me to get upset when people are coming to me asking me for help. If I put on a firefighter uniform and I go out there in public, you think it's reasonable for me to get mad when people come up to me and ask me to put out their fires?
Why would you put on a police uniform if you're not a cop? I don't
exactly. Why would you portray yourself as ratchet, as a thug, as a nigga? Why would you portray yourself in this fashion and then get mad when people judge you by what you're portraying, or they hold you to the standards of what you're portraying?
Okay.
That's my whole point.
I got you. Well, like I said, I missed a lot what you were saying. I'm gonna go back to, okay, we're talking about stats. Now I saw Pat was posting a lot of stats that didn't, that's why we talk about stats, right? So Pat just posted a bunch of stats that did not agree with the stats that you posted.
Okay, yeah, I'll go back and I'll find.
But I know. I'm sorry. I was kind of talking to Coach Carter, so I missed a lot of what you were saying.
Oh no, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it's kind of stuff that we've talked about before.
People that encourage this behavior should be like just torched and burned, okay, some kind of way. I mean, when the people that's like 40, when people are like in their 40s and talking about they're a rapper, whoever is encouraging that shit, that those are the ones that need something done to them. You shouldn't encourage somebody that's in their fucking 40s to be a rapper. I mean, I can wake up and say I want to be president, but freaking well, if you love me, if you care about me, damn well I have no, grounds to be able to do that shit. So why would you be like, yeah, do it? You know what I mean? Like, who is doing that? Black women? I mean, what? Who's doing that?
Carlotta, I'm sorry. Say that again.
No, I'm just saying. I'm wondering.
You're talking about somebody trying to be a 45-year-old still trying to be a rapper.
For somebody to think that they can do that shit, they're being encouraged by something or somebody. Somebody is making them think that they can do that. So who are those people, and what the hell is wrong with them? You know, I'm thinking at 45, you should be encouraging that person to like go down to the Amazon factory and get a job or something. You know, that's more realistic. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't think you should be encouraging people's potential rap careers or beat making businesses and shit and they in their 40s.
Well, hey, as long as you're not doing anything illegal. If you ain't heard no, look, you
might as well just not be doing nothing and aspire to do that stupid shit at that age. Might as well just sit home and collect the check, you know?
True. Very true.
Shoot, tell Social Security you crazy or something and just get a goddamn check.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people doing that mess too. Yeah. And they're giving the children what they giving them before they take them to the doctor. Really? And they're making the doctor ended up getting a check for the little kids and ain't a damn thing wrong with the child.
And speaking of checks, like I said right there, we want to thank you guys.
Perfect segue.
Show. Please like, share, and subscribe to the show. That way you'll know exactly when we come on air. We appreciate you guys out there. If you'd like to be added to the panel, go ahead and say something in the chat room, and I will add you to the panel.
Hey, Chess, I just dropped the link. I tried to drop the link in the YouTube chat, but it's too long. But I put it in the Hangout that we're on right now. I put it, and this is the statistics, and it's got on the bottom the source, the FBI statistics for 2014, which is 51 cops have been killed. Feloniously killed in the line of duty, which was 27 back in 2013.
Okay.
And then I'm looking up right now the FBI stats for police shootings, police killings right now. So I can post that to you.
Well, cops are outnumbered and definitely outgunned, so I mean that kind of makes sense.
Carlotta.
No, Pat said.
Hey, what's up, Pat?
Pat said police protect the land, not the law. No, police enforce the law. That's their job. They enforce the law. They're not there to protect anybody.
Yeah. No, you just said it though. You said police are there to enforce the law, but y'all said protect the law. That's two totally different terms.
Well, yeah, they're there to enforce law. They are a local branch of the executive government. That's all they are. An executive government specific sole job is to enforce the law. Legislative branch is to create laws. Judicial branch is to interpret laws.
Yeah.
Why does when people speak against police, they get called pro-black and all this kind of stuff? And that's,
I don't know.
That's
well, the whole pro-black thing is
just starting to be cool.
Let me finish.
As much as people hate this whole idea of people standing up for black people, which should be done, honestly,
right.
I don't understand what makes you any better by always labeling people as, oh, you pro-black, you one of them pro-blacks. You should be pro-black because white people damn sure are pro-white, Hispanic people are pro-Hispanic, and Asian people are damn sure pro-Asian. So to say that being pro-black is a bad thing, you sound dumb. You sound like you have some self-hate.
Okay, it's not first of all, it's not self-hate because here's the thing. Look at the shit that black people stand for. They stand for the dumbest shit out of all the races.
Yes, we do.
That's why if you label yourself as a pro-black and you see the shit that black people stand up for, the fuckery they stand up for, you're a fucking idiot. That's just what it is.
White people stand for you to be back in shackles, Leslie. You're labeling black people as a whole.
Blacks are not collective. Blacks are very divided.
Here's the question. When have you seen black people say they want us back in shackles?
Exactly. That's white people.
Plenty of white people think should go back to the way they were.
Think about it. When is the white person in power? I've never seen a white person in power.
Exactly. I've only
seen dumb, ignorant,
like white people in power don't have any sense of oppression at all. The person who's forcing oppression, systematic oppression, they're not going to be talking about, oh, we need this change.
This debate is
you're not going to see them do shit.
Let me finish.
Let me finish. I want to hear this.
They're in a position of they're benefiting from everything, so you won't hear them say anything about that. That's smart. You're not going to hear them talk about that. That's why you think Donald Trump doesn't say he dislikes Hispanics. He just says we need to build a wall. And everybody who was Hispanic and are working over on a green card needs to pay taxes, regardless of who they are. He's not going to say, I dislike these people.
He never said that. He said illegal. He's talking about illegal. See, that's where you're wrong. He's never said anything about Hispanics. He's always said illegal.
Illegal.
That's what I'm saying.
And not just Hispanics. It's illegal alien period across the board.
Right.
But the word illegal in those terms, that's what people have to understand. The terms that they use, it goes over a lot of people's heads. They're not saying illegal as in.
See, that's that boogeyman. That's that white supremacist boogeyman mentality.
You think Donald Trump's not a white supremacist?
No, he's not a white supremacist.
You think Donald Trump's not a white supremacist?
He's pro-American.
Definitely.
Donald Trump is pro-American.
Listen, I'm gonna say, listen. Donald Trump is, I don't think he's a white supremacist. Donald Trump, he may be a fucking idiot and maybe other things, but white supremacists, no. I mean, dumb as fuck. Look, Donald Trump, if anything he likes to take fame. That's why if you ever notice anybody he's worked with, he always makes it seem like he's done all the fucking work. Where he's the type of person that manages something, say we're going to go into business to do this. He'll manage and get all these people together to do their roles, and then he'll sit back in the end and try to take credit like he did everything, like everything was his idea.
So
he's a limelight stealer. I mean, literally, no, but for real. If Donald Trump could sit up here and say, Donald Trump is the type of person that would bring you in the room, he would blindfold his wife, bring you in the room, you fuck the shit out her ass, you leave out the room, and he stand up like he fucked the shit out of her.
So what in his presidential agenda, has he stated that will help ethnic
Donald Trump don't give a shit.
Carlotta, listen to my question. Listen to my question. What in his presidential agenda?
Hey, guys, let me talk.
Go ahead. What in his presidential agenda helps ethnic groups? Name one.
Okay, I'll tell you right now. I'll answer that question. The fact that, where do you think these illegals, when they come in, you think they're moving into these rich white neighborhoods? No, they're moving into fucking poor black neighborhoods. So therefore, they're going to take the little bit of black jobs that are left. They hurt black people in that sense. So for him,
you can't take a job from someone. You apply for a job nobody else wants.
Okay, here's the thing. If they're willing to work for less, they're going to get fucking hired there, Patrick. That's how it works. That's how business works.
Okay, yeah, that's how it works. It's called free market.
So if you've got a group of people that are willing to work for less, and that could slap more profit onto your tail end profit reports at the end of the year, you're going to hire those people.
Okay.
And that's what's going to happen. So by removing these illegals who will work for less money, that will allow those black people in those neighborhoods to maintain and sustain those jobs.
But illegals and illegals working for less money and spending. If you come from a certain area where that gets paid crumbs and pesos, you're going to work for less whether you're legal or not. So legal immigrants take the same jobs that illegal ones do.
But here's the thing, though. Think about it. Yeah, you have legals and they're here legally and they'll have those jobs. But you remove all these illegal aliens, it's less of a blow.
Yeah, and then if they're legal aliens, they still got to get paid the minimum. Where the illegals, they'll work under the table.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the thing is, they're
black people like to hustle.
You can be legal and work under the table. That's not true.
Here you go, Patrick. Here you go,
Patrick. They're more prone. Illegals are more prone to work under the table.
Yeah, right. Just literally, here you go, Patrick. Say we both aliens. Say me and you aliens. I'm an illegal, and you. I'm a legal alien. You're an illegal alien. Now, me being a legal alien, I can actually go. I'm legal. I got paperwork, this, that, and the other. I can get a job, and they'll have to pay me minimum wage like anything else. You being an illegal alien, you can be like, well, fine, okay, I'll come work for you. We pay $8 an hour to regular people or people with papers. But since you ain't got no papers, you'll work for $5. So, of course, you do, because they'll hire you before me, even though we both aliens.
They don't get paid less like you all think. I know personally.
They do, right? No, but I'm just saying that they do take the jobs that other people wouldn't work.
One thing, let me say this, because I can speak on this because I got experience with this. First of all, a lot of these, like what do you call them? The people that own the houses. When you see the little guys doing the houses and this, that, and the third. The contractors. Yeah. Let me tell you something. First of all, they don't have to pay for workman's compensation. They don't have to pay for medical or anything like that. when dealing with the illegal aliens.
Well,
Okay, because first of all, let me finish. Let me finish. First of all, what they do, if you get in trouble, listen, let me finish. If you get in trouble, first of all, a lot of illegals, they won't say anything because they already know they're illegally here. So therefore, the contractor doesn't have to worry about, you know what I'm saying, getting sued and this and the third. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, well, we could call ICE and get your ass deported. So they won't say anything. And let me tell you something else. A lot of people be talking about, oh, well, dealing with, you know, they're getting the jobs that black people can't get. First of all, a lot of black people don't want the damn job. Second of all, they don't want the hours that hard work. They don't want to do that. They want 15 and 16 and $20 an hour for shit. You know, and don't even know how to do some shit. Second of all, they get their little finger crushed or their little finger, like, little cut on their fucking finger. They holler workman's comp. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of black people want to get something for nothing. In the meantime, shit needs to get done. And then you got niggas that can't get a job anyway because they got jail records.
Hey, Pat, back to your question. That's one policy of getting rid of illegals that's going to help black people. You allow these illegals in, like I said, they're not moving in these rich white neighborhoods. They're moving into poor black neighborhoods
and working.
How is he gonna get rid of illegal immigrants?
By empowering Border Patrol, giving them because right now Obama's pretty much told Border Control. There's been shitload of Border Control talking about they've been directly told to stand down when they get these illegal aliens. Let them fucking go. This has come from the Border Patrol.
That is true.
Have said that. These are the orders that they've been given.
Where do you see that?
That is true.
This is coming from
my husband told me that. My husband told me that. My husband told me, he said Border Patrol told them to walk a different direction so they wouldn't be picked up on satellite or GPS or whatever. He's absolutely right. That's how you got 20 million motherfuckers in the country.
People are missing it's a farce. People are missing a big part of this. When you increase Border Patrol, you know what you increase? The cost of Border Patrol. Who's paying for Border Patrol? Taxpayers. So all this stuff about eliminating illegal aliens to help black people, y'all don't even want to pay the taxes on this shit.
Check this out. Look at all the benefits these illegal motherfuckers are getting from liberals like Obama and Clinton. So talk about spending tax money. These motherfuckers get free education. They get fucking food. They get bridge cars. They get all this shit, housing supplement. They get all this shit. This is a
lot of people get free.
Black people getting that shit too.
Exactly, Carlotta. Exactly, Carlotta.
Okay,
exactly.
But that's a problem as well. But it's specifically for illegal aliens. That's a huge problem. What the fuck have you done for this country?
All right.
You are not here legally. You deserve no fucking benefit. I'm sorry.
They built up businesses.
You said the same thing earlier when Chess was saying about black people.
Generated money.
Listen to what I'm saying, Carlotta. With cops killing black people. Now she said they're killing these people. 900. It was over 900 people got killed by the police. You said, well, look at that number. It's not a lot. She said, but they're getting killed also.
Well, I will say one thing though.
So it's like just because they're getting something done also doesn't mean it's right. It doesn't mean it's right just because that's a problem too. It should be addressed all around.
No, it should be
addressed all around. So don't say illegal aliens.
Common sense says you address the biggest problem first. That's what you do. You get rid of the biggest problem.
There's way more people bumming off the system in America than illegal aliens.
Okay.
Americans definitely.
And that's fine. I understand that, and that is a fucking problem.
That's fine. That it's more people doing it in our country.
I know what he means.
Carlotta, be quiet. Goddamn, shut up.
I was agreeing with you.
Oh, you just
one at a time.
Yeah, we're trying to converse with Pat. No, Pat, what I'm saying is
tell Coach to get on the line.
What you're saying is fine. Is that no, there are, and I agree, there are more U.S. citizens bumming off the system. I agree 100% with you. But right now, illegal aliens are a big problem. Because of the drug. A lot of these illegal aliens, there's a lot of prostitution, there's a lot of rape, there's a lot of drugs. That is a huge problem. Everything now,
you just name as happens with every other race at a higher rate.
Well, here's the thing. If you look at whole raw numbers, you're correct. White people make up, 63% of the United States? So, yeah, they're going to have most of everything when you look at raw numbers. It's the per capita. It's the percentage you got to look at, and that's what blacks need.
Leslie, this goes to the same topic that y'all just discussed, though.
Go ahead.
This goes to the same topic. Black men make up 6% of the population, but 40% of people killed that are unarmed by police. And you said, but white people get killed more or whatnot. But yet, by per capita, by percentages, we are getting targeted by police. So your logic by this topic applies to the same topic as police targeting black people and killing black people.
Okay, and you're right. I agree. You have a point with that. You have a point.
That's what I was saying. What stats are we going to
that?
believe from the beginning? I'm like,
I go by percentage. Raw numbers don't really tell you shit. I go by the per capita and by the percentage. But still, you're talking out of 300. Well, let's see. 14. You're talking what? Blacks are 13% of the population, so 35. So a little over 30. So you're talking 40 million out of 40 million blacks. 120 something, 130 something get killed. Now, wait, stop. You still got to break down what's justified and what's unjustified. Now, unjustified, the number's even fucking smaller. So now you're talking less than 100 people out of 40 million people. That's nothing, man.
We're talking about, that's what I said. I said targeted. No, that's what I'm saying. You're talking about being killed. I said targeted. I said targeted.
Well, here's the thing. Look at what the fuck black folks do. Black folks do the dumb. They are more aggressive, and they do the most dumb. Let's look at the most violent cities in America.
And that's why cops can roll up on a kid and kill him in 2 seconds.
I think Mad Black pulled up the top 15 cities, or it might have been Andre, pulled up the top 15 most violent cities in the United States. I think 10 of them were fucking black cities. 10 of them.
What is a black city?
Detroit, Baltimore, Oakland, Chicago.
But they also are impoverished cities. Those are the poorest cities in America.
Let's go back to what Debus said. Greece is fucking impoverished. You don't see them motherfuckers doing that bullshit. It has nothing.
And you don't see their cops killing. The cops don't kill people like they do.
Because they don't fucking act.
But I'm saying we can't compare that. We can't compare Greece to the U.S.
No, if you're talking poverty, yes, you can't. Poverty is poverty. Poverty doesn't matter what fucking race. If you're poor, you're poor. Why is it that other poor races aren't committing crimes as much?
Why don't the cops kill people overseas like they kill in the US?
Because they're not as violent as blacks. Blacks are the most violent group of people.
Black people don't have
aggressive. Aggressive people.
Blacks are the most violent and aggressive, uncivilized group of people right now. This is a fucking fact.
How is that a fact?
Fact by who?
Look at FBI statistics, and don't give me that bullshit. Don't give me that bullshit.
I know FBI statistics of what? FBI statistics of what?
FBI statistics. Look at how many violent crimes are committed by black people compared to white people. Yeah. Statistically,
that's impoverished areas.
It has nothing.
We make up 13% of the population.
It has nothing.
I'm about to go.
What percentages do we make up in the impoverished areas of America? We make up most of those populations.
Okay, and it has nothing to do with poverty, because if you look at other poor races that are in poverty, they're not doing the same shit. If poverty was a common, if poverty was a common denominator, you would see the same behaviors consistently among other impoverished groups.
Leslie, police, this is coming from NYPD, for example, on CNN.
Let's look at FBI.
Let me finish.
But Leslie,
police departments, let me finish. Police departments are targeting poor neighborhoods because they're easy targets. They know they're doing illegal activity to survive. Those poor neighborhoods, black people make up most of those neighborhoods because they are oppressed. Those jobs aren't offered. They aren't building those neighborhoods. They aren't setting kids up in school. What they get the oldest textbooks. It all correlates.
Whose fault is
That's
that?
why police target poor neighborhoods.
Black families are not involved in these PTA meetings. They're not. They're too
Where
busy.
They at, Leslie? Where are they at? They're at work.
I'm gonna tell you where they're at. I'm gonna tell you. No, they're not at fucking work. They're out on the streets marching for these fucking thugs, acting like idiots.
Leslie, you're reaching. You go in the ghetto. They're not marching in no damn street.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you what.
Wait, guys. One at a time. We cannot hear you when you both talk.
Okay.
This is good.
Okay. Here's the thing, Patrick. Okay, and this is me coming from my experience in Detroit. Seeing how these niggas act in Detroit. They don't give a fuck. First of all, they're out fucking like jackrabbits, popping out kids left and fucking right that they can't fucking afford. So now they put themselves in a situation where they have to be at work 24/7. That is their fucking fault. Nobody put a gun in their head.
This, Leslie.
No, not the numbers that black people do. I've lived in white trailer. I've lived in a white trailer park with a bunch of trailer trash. They are not doing the same fucking things to the extent that black folks are in the fucking hood. This is a fact. This is a fucking fact.
I've lived in the hood.
I've lived in Detroit, and I've lived in a fucking white trailer.
Have you lived in the hood?
Yes, I lived. Dude, Detroit is a fucking hood. The east side of Detroit.
Nah, you said you live in a white trailer park with white people.
I said I lived in Detroit, and I've also lived in a white trailer
So you
park.
don't live in the hood, though. You don't live in a black neighborhood, though. In the hood. You've
I
never
said
lived
differently. These are different times, Patrick. These are different times. I've lived in Detroit. I've grown up in Detroit.
And the city of Detroit, but have you lived in the hood with black people?
Yes, 94 in Cashew, yes. And then outside in the suburbs, in the poor white areas, I've lived in a trailer park. And these poor white people are not doing the same shit that niggas are fucking doing. They're just not doing it.
They're doing this.
Now they're doing now. Here's the thing: the white people are doing meth and shit like that, but they're not destructing their own fucking that trailer park. Yeah, they had meth problems and shit, but you didn't see motherfuckers on the corner with their pants sagging, selling fucking drugs out there. They did that shit in their house. There was.
I'll agree with that. I'll agree.
Not shooting up. Here's the thing: you know how many times? You know how many times? Oh, and that's the difference. They don't fucking shit in their own backyards. That's the fucking
poison the neighborhoods. It's a chain reaction. They're no better. You're still poisoning the neighborhoods.
Okay.
You cook it up.
Okay, but here's the thing though. They're not out there shooting. There's no drive-bys in these fucking poor white neighborhoods. They're not stealing fucking rims. They're not stealing radios. They're not doing any of that shit. They're not fucking carjacking. They're not carjacking each other. But when you go into Detroit, the same fucking thing. These motherfuckers are carjacking you. These motherfuckers are stealing your shit. They're fucking drive-by shootings. They're shooting innocent kids that are playing outside.
Yeah.
This is what's going on in black neighborhoods. That's not going on in poor white neighborhoods. This is the difference, Patrick. And I've witnessed this personally.
I've witnessed poor white neighborhoods having trouble. I witnessed police always having to get calls in poor white neighborhoods. It does happen, especially in the South. It does happen.
I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm saying the frequency of it happening with white people is not as much as black people. Black people make up less of the population.
With that. And white.
But you're speaking from for Detroit, for where you are.
And I lived in many cities. It's the same across. It's the same across. It's all legal issues. It's all legal issues. They might not be doing them drive-bys, but damn sure Billy is over there shooting Bob in the back in front of his trailer. It's happening. It's happening every day.
From what I've seen personally, like I said, in Detroit, I've had to sleep many a nights in my bathtub in the fucking bathroom because motherfuckers are driving by shooting. I've never experienced that the 2 or 3 years that I lived in that fucking poor white trailer park where they were cooking meth in them trailers. Never.
Because they're doing business, Leslie. It's just different crimes. You rob, you carry, you pointed at someone. You cooking meth, you still killing people.
And that's my whole point. That's my whole
point. Meth is killing people.
And that's my whole point, Patrick. They're not as blatant and as violent.
Wait a minute. When the black people are selling drugs, they're doing business too. But they choose to kill all their people. Well, I do admit, that's one of the things I noticed. White people, when they're selling drugs and do all like that, you don't hear about them robbing people like black people do.
You don't have to. They're the supplier. They're the supplier.
It doesn't matter.
I'm talking about the users and the people using drugs. Very rarely.
Hey, now here's the thing, and this is what I go back to. This shows you how more aggressive and violent black people are than white people nowadays. I'm talking nowadays. I'm not talking back centuries ago when blacks, when white people were out, pillaging and raping fucking whatever. I'm talking nowadays. Black people are more violent now and more aggressive now than white people.
Why do
you
think that is, though, Leslie? I'm telling you,
why do I think it is? Is because
the system in America, people have gotten frustrated. That's why people complain and laugh at the riots and whatnot. It's the same thing that happened in the '60s. People got tired of certain things. So yes, your feathers are going to get ruffled.
Okay, so that's an excuse. Here's the thing: who are their feathers getting ruffled by? If you ask the average black person, it's by this faceless white boogeyman, this white supremacist boogeyman. So here's my thing: why are you killing your own people instead of going after the fucking perpetrator? That's my fucking question.
What happens when you kill a police? You get deemed as an evil person who needs to be hung or needs to have a needle in them. So
okay, well, then why? So what? Then what sense does it make to kill your own people? To kill your own innocent people? Then who has supposedly done nothing for you? Nothing to you.
Leslie, it's like an animal. When you deprive an animal of something, it starts to eat its own. That's what happens.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. That's uncivilized behavior, and that's what blacks are. It's uncivilized behavior.
But at the end of the day, guess who that benefits? It's a benefit from that, though.
That's a system. And the federal government gets money off of all of that. You shoot somebody, you go to jail, federal money.
And at this point, Patrick, it's by fucking choice. You still have a choice to live that type of lifestyle, or you fucking don't. And here's the thing: The blacks that are successful and that speak proper English and that want to do things the right way and follow the law like us, we get fucking
The education not even the same, Leslie, in poor neighborhoods. You ever know?
Because blacks don't give a fuck about education. Blacks would rather be rappers and
the government doesn't give a fuck about education in poor neighborhoods.
This is why.
They're not going to give a
Blacks
fuck
don't
about
give a fuck
education.
about education. Why should white people give a fuck about their education? They don't even give a fuck about their own education. I'm sorry.
If you're in the predicament of being in a poor neighborhood and you care about your education, you still fight twice as hard as the kid over here who lives in a neighborhood with $5,000 houses because the school system is set up differently in those neighborhoods. That's a fact.
Pat, you got to be taught that. And the parents are not helping these children be ambitious enough to do that.
I agree with that, but you have to look at the cause of the people and why they're behaving that way. I'm not saying 100% blame goes on the government. What I'm saying is the system isn't oppress people to not want to be educated and not be educated. If you want to be educated in a poor neighborhood, you don't have the same resources. You don't even have a library in your neighborhood in poor neighborhoods. You don't have it. You don't have it.
Guess what? Newsflash, Patrick. I grew up in fucking Detroit, and I was poor as they fucking come. Guess what?
When was that?
What? This was back in the fucking early 2000s, 90s. Guess what?
Early 90s.
I had no fucking resources option. Guess what I fucking did? I joined the fucking military and got myself some options.
Being forced into the military. Is the military for everyone, Leslie? Yes or no?
Hey, you know what? If it provides you opportunities, hey, you know what? Hey, I'm sorry. You got to suck it the fuck up. You got to make small-term sacrifices for long-term gains. I'm sorry. That's what black people need to fucking do. Get the fuck out of your comfort zone. Make some fucking sacrifices so you can better yourself.
And to make it in the military, how old do you have to be? You have to be 18, 17?
Hey, that's 18? That's not my fucking problem. You either take the opportunity.
Make it to 18 to get in the military?
Okay, and that's not my fucking problem.
Then you have to pass a test, right?
Okay, exactly. And guess what? Guess what
education, right?
I studied my fucking ass off to pass that.
You did. You can get books. Why are you applying what you did to everybody
else? Because if I can fucking do it, they can fucking do it, Patrick. Quit making excuses.
Really?
For fucking black people.
Really? Because
this is what you're doing.
With crack pipes on the floor and stuff.
Hey, I love you.
Like you grew up the same as everybody else, though.
Hey, I love you.
Why is your standard everybody else's standard?
Hey, I love you to death, brother, but it's people like you that keep making these fucked up ass excuses.
No excuses.
Keep black people in these fucking holes, man. Instead of saying, you know what, suck it the fuck up, roll your sleeves up, and take your opportunities and go out there and
every black person, you basically saying every black person has equal opportunity.
I'm saying I'm not saying equal. I'm saying they have opportunities. Every black person has opportunities.
As long as you understand they don't have equal opportunity.
I say equal because not everybody's equal. Everybody's not the fucking same.
Saying. But that's what I'm saying.
Okay, and that's retarded.
The system that they're in though isn't equal across the board.
Okay,
a person who lives in North Chicago, North Side Philly, doesn't have the same opportunity of a kid who lives over here in Connecticut and Hartford, Connecticut, in the suburbs. They don't have the same opportunity. They don't.
Okay, here you go. You got 350 million people in this country. If you expect everybody to have the same exact opportunity, the same exact lifestyle, you're fucking retarded, dude. That's just how it is. Nobody's got the same anything. My kids aren't going to have the same opportunities I've had. I'm not going to have the same opportunities they had. Everybody's fucking different. You just have to make sacrifices.
I agree with that.
Take the small opportunities you have and turn them into something and make them flourish. That's the opportunity you have.
But what I'm saying, you're speaking on the individual part. I'm speaking on the bigger picture of the system that is in place.
The bigger picture, and that's what's great about this country. Everybody has a fucking opportunity. It may be smaller for some, it may be greater for others, but everybody has a fucking opportunity. You just need to shut the fuck up with all the whining, crying, and complaining, and do something about it.
If I give you 10 shots at a basketball goal from half court, another person gets 1. Right? If they fail at making that 1 shot, you can't come down on their head and say, oh, look at you, you're failing. Now you out here boosting and selling drugs and whatnot because you didn't make it. You should have made it like me. But I had 10 shots, so it's okay.
Hey, check this out, brother. Check this out, brother. I'm 5'10", I weigh 250 fucking pounds. As much as I'd love to be an NBA player and make NBA fucking money, I just fucking can't. So that opportunity is shot. Guess what? You think I'm gonna sit there and cry about it my whole fucking life? No, I'm gonna find another avenue to make my fucking money, bro.
But that means you have 2 options. That's what I'm saying. If you're stuck in a system where you have a narrow, and many of us have narrow, most of my homeboys are dead or in jail that I grew up with, and that's because we had a very narrow chance. We weren't made to see 22, 21 years old. Most of them didn't.
And so how can we get a society that thinks outside the box?
Check this out, man. I was in juvenile detention for almost 4 fucking years, bro. Guess what? The last facility I was in, there were 15 of us living in the house. There's only 4 of us right now that are not in fucking prison or dead. There's only 4 of us.
Okay.
Okay. Now, every last one of these motherfuckers I look up on the fucking on the offender tracking system for Michigan, armed robbery, selling coke, all that. Who put a fucking gun to their head and made them do that shit? They still had a fucking decision and a choice at the end of the day. We all came from the same fucking facility. Yet why is it 4 of us were able to make a choice and say we're not going back to that fucking lifestyle?
But why is it the 4 failed? That's what I'm saying. You have to think about why they failed. It just wasn't because I'm gonna choose to die. Nobody chooses to die.
Well, y'all do something of positivity. I think negative thinking causes people to do negative things.
But you have to have a catalyst, Carlotta. I had a catalyst that got me to where I am. There's a catalyst. If you don't have that catalyst, they didn't have the same catalyst I had. They didn't play sports. Right. So they didn't have that. If you don't have that, you're going to fail. But you can't come down on those people's heads for failing when they weren't in the system that was supposed to help them prevail. They weren't in that system. This is
right.
System
you can't down people, but
for you to fail.
But what Leslie's saying is that regardless, we have the opportunity to do something.
Yes.
Whether it's nothing but work at McDonald's. I mean, do something. Don't just sit around and just, take the road of selling drugs or ass or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's other shit that you can do that can be considered positive. It's all like good work and working. You know what I mean? It's like, but everybody is trying to make that $20 hour shit. This is the problem.
Exactly. Everybody wants a quick fucking dollar. And
right.
So they're settling.
That big ass money.
Instead of fucking crawling before they walk, they want to fucking take off sprinting, jumping fucking hurdles.
Right, because they want to make drug dealer money, but legally. It's like, yo, you can't do it like that. See, they see the drug dealers with all this flash and all this, that, and the third. But it's like, well, I don't want to be a drug dealer. But it's like, but I want the shit that I see that they have. But they can't get it legally, though. See what I'm saying? And school take too long. So guess what ends up happening? They end up doing that bullshit.
Yeah, a lot of people they take the easy road out. They don't want to work. I mean, a lot of people, too, we've got...
They have no patience.
We've taught them. They want to work for 5 minutes and they want $5,000.
But that's what I'm saying. That mentality goes across America, not just poor neighborhoods. So when you're inside of a system that you don't see the other opportunities, the other fruits of the labor, that's what you're gonna follow. You fall into the trap easier.
But here's your question like this. One thing I'll say too is black people,
that's true too.
As black people, we always want to do shit the quickest and the fastest. We don't want to work hard.
Everybody does. People don't get that. Everybody does. White people do it more than black people.
Okay, damn it. Let me finish. What I say is white people more look and say, well, fine, yeah, I can do it this way and it'll be quick and I'm done. But what are the consequences? We don't think about the consequences, where white people think about the consequences a little bit more than
white people are more rational than black people.
Right.
They don't have the same stress. Dude, the people I'm talking about, they don't have the same stressors as those people you're talking about. You say white people don't think about this stuff.
Black people want shit in a hurry because of slavery.
Fuck slavery, man. Fuck, don't even bring that.
I'm not using that as an excuse. I'm just saying everybody thinks because they had it so hard because of slavery. Now it's like you got this attitude, somebody owe you something.
Slavery
you don't want to work hard again.
Slavery is not a fucking factor because of this. Blacks had more morals and acted like fucking human beings when they were in the midst of all that bullshit than they are now.
Slavery is because it was some kind of organization.
I got too many arguments, man. We need to get one argument.
I don't know. Something is playback on my end.
Playback going, Dre.
Yeah.
How do we get here from talking about Trump?
I'm just saying a lot of people use that shit as an excuse, Leslie. And now what I'm just saying.
Working for
Patrick, you're arguing with people that they will not agree to understand that there are systems in place.
I understand that.
I've got a question for you. Name one law in the books right now that's being practiced that is oppressing black people and holding black people back.
I can tell you that.
Probably drug laws.
Exactly.
The drug laws.
They don't affect if you don't break the law. If you don't break the law,
Leslie, that's what I'm saying. You don't see the system in place. That's what I'm saying. By you saying that, you don't see it.
Listen,
you don't see it.
Drug laws are in effect. They are a reaction to an action.
It's different.
No, they're not.
Well, I mean, you just said it. You said it.
The government facilitated drug sales. The government did that.
Okay, but like I said, if the government drops a kilo of heroin on your doorstep, you still have a fucking choice.
But okay,
you work at McDonald's or sell this brown right here for a day and make $500. Which one are you gonna do if you poor?
Hey,
Come
guess
on
what?
now.
You know what I'm gonna do, and I've been poor, and I've done it before.
But you line up 100 poor people and say, "Hey, sell this. You get $500
and they're
a day."
fucking
Or you work
idiots.
at
And
McDonald's.
they're still fucking idiots, and they still made a decision that's their fault. At the end of the day, it's still their fucking fault. No matter what, you're always gonna have perpetrators setting up. You're
sending people to life for their third
still gonna have.
That's
You're still gonna have perpetrators setting up traps.
Okay, well, let's
It's
not.
on
Let's
you
not
to
talk
wise.
about.
It's on you to wisen up and not walk into the fucking traps. That's on you.
Okay, let's not talk about drugs. Let's look at something else then.
Okay.
Where within the justice system, where you see a lot of biases. Let's talk about. Give me a minute to think of something.
Name one law. Just do me a favor. Name one fucking law in the books that is oppressing black people. That is not a reaction to what they've done to topple the first.
What are you talking about? React, Leslie? If you set up a just like Tony just said in the '60s, and that's true. There were laws in Los Angeles you couldn't sell houses to black people. You generation.
I said now. I said now.
But that system, Leslie, listen to what I'm saying. Though that's a system. Over a period of time, you can oppress a group of people through a system.
What is going? What is going on now? What laws are in effect now?
Everything to do with the '60s. Yes, it does. Has everything to do with the '60s. It's called systematic oppression, and you know that.
Then why isn't Oprah Winfrey oppressed?
That's a rarity. That's one person. That's one person.
Oprah Winfrey is one of the wealthiest women in the United States.
One person, exactly. And how much she's a billionaire.
So why isn't she oppressed?
They had to have somebody as an example.
This shit's in effect. Why isn't she oppressed?
She's a billionaire, right?
Why isn't the CEO of Nike, a black man, CEO of fucking Nike? Why is he in the position that he's in?
He's a rarity, Leslie. It's kind of like saying, oh, you just said it.
How do we know that these people are not just put in position just to like show equality?
Stop changing the subject with that conspiracy.
Oh man.
What he just said earlier. He said, well, you said about how many people something. I can't remember what you said about a rarity.
I just find it funny that the black people that are very, 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 very prominent positions are the same type of people who don't make fucking excuses. I just find that really funny. I don't think that's a coincidence.
Well, Oprah Winfrey tell you herself it wasn't by all her academic achievements and things like. She said things had to go right and it was by luck. You're talking think about it. She's a billionaire in America. How many black billionaires in America? By percentage to white. How many? Look it up.
Yeah.
Name another black billionaire in America off the top of your head. Name one, Leslie, right now on this panel. Name one other black billionaire you know of in America.
Oh, I don't know any other black billionaire.
Thank you. And that's one person you name. See what I'm saying?
I know plenty.
I can name 10 white.
I know of plenty of black millionaires, but again, all these people have the same mentality.
How many white millionaires?
I don't care.
They exist.
There's always going to be more because there are more white people, period, in the United States. So that's
the ratio.
Always going to be
about the ratio.
They're always going to be more. They're always
percentages.
Okay, and there's always going to be more, no matter what. When it comes to the positive shit, black people are low. When it comes to the negative shit, black people are high per capita. They rate high per capita. Here's the thing: I've noticed that all the successful black people, it's not a coincidence that they all have this. You know what? I'm going to take whatever opportunity I can and make it flourish. Right. They don't have that excuse. The white fucking supremacist boogeyman is out to get me. I fucking noticed that. I've noticed that.
But it's fucking there. It's there though. You can't deny that the system of systematic oppression does not exist. It's there.
Again, Patrick. Again, poor black kid who used to sell drugs, who got fucking caught up in the system, who got out, joined the fucking military, took every opportunity he can, and now is a successful business owner.
You were able to join the military.
No white people.
Drug charges. You can't join the military because you get fed time at the age of 16. That's a fact.
No, well, and you know what? And that's why you need to have parents. And there's another difference. White people have dads.
So where were your parents at, Leslie, when you got locked up for selling drugs?
My mom was a fucking alcoholic bitch, and my dad was across the fucking country living his life.
So if somebody said, well, damn, you got locked up, you're a bad person because your mom was alcoholic.
And
your mom sucks.
And that's fine. That's their opinion. I'm not going to get mad at that. They have a right to feel that way. You think I'm going to let that slow me down? Fuck no. Think I'm gonna sit up there and throw a pity party about that shit? Fuck no.
But signing up for the military shouldn't be your only avenue out the hood, though. And that's been the military's proposition for going into black poor neighborhoods and going to young black men and say, hey, you can get out this mess, just join the military. Yeah, put your life on this damn dotted line, and you'll be out of your problems.
So let's put this on the Vegas betting table. Okay, what are your odds of becoming a fucking rapper and your odds of being able to be successful through the military? Where would you place your bet on?
Why are you using rapper as a jump? How many? You line up 100 black dudes. Probably one of them says I want to be a rapper.
Going
Come on, Leslie.
right now.
Y'all reaching.
Look at how many
Leslie has a
motherfuckers.
skewed view.
Look at how many motherfuckers that are just in our hangouts in our groups alone that are making beats and fucking trying to rap it. It's like fucking 85% of them.
Like going to your logic. Going to your logic.
Don't be dumping on people's dreams, Leslie.
I'm just saying, that's all we do. We put all our eggs in the fucking hip hop basket. That's all we do.
Going to your logic. How many dudes have come on these panels and in the chat versus how many dudes are making beats or rapping on the panels and chats?
Okay.
It's maybe like 3 dudes versus like 50 or 100 who aren't making beats.
But no, that's one thing we do as black people. We put all our eggs in one basket.
We put all our eggs in the fucking.
That's just like people wanted to be athletes at one time. Everybody wanted to be a football, basketball star.
I'm guilty of that myself. Literally, this is what happened to me. The one reason why my depression kicked in is one thing because I just came up to now, so I'm gonna go ahead and tell you one reason why my depression kicked in. Why? Because when I was younger, my goal was to work at this company, and my second goal in life was actually to be a computer networker. After I was charged with a felony and I couldn't work at the company I wanted or be a computer networker, I went because basically I felt that I couldn't do this and I couldn't do that. Those are 2 things I wanted to do in life. There was like nothing else left. That's the reason why I fell into a spiral like that. And I mean, literally, it's very difficult. I'll give you credit. It's very difficult to change and say, you know what? Well, fine. And then now I found something else that I like to do. I like to put houses together. But it's very difficult to make that change, to do something else when you want to do one of these 2 things and you know you can never do that again. I mean, it takes a strong person to do that. And not everybody can make that change.
Not everybody can, but everybody has the ability.
Yeah, they have the ability.
You keep putting that shit out there that, oh, not everybody can do it. You keep making excuses, man. You keep putting that negative vibe out there, and then people are going to take that shit and run with it. Right. Stop with the fucking negative bullshit talk. Not everybody. Not all. No, fuck that shit, man. No, shut the fuck up. Get your ass out there. Do what you need to do. That's it. Bottom line.
Unfortunately, I can't disagree with Leslie because what Leslie is saying, those are the points that I was raised by. I wasn't allowed excuses at all.
I understand what you're saying, but this is what I'm saying. When you look at drug use, people hear drugs, selling drugs, right? Selling weed. Weed doesn't kill anyone, right? But in a lot of states, these drug laws now, that's what Jess was saying, the drug laws are set up. We know that you're not going to work at McDonald's. Listen to me, Carlotta. We know you're not going to stay on the go to McDonald's and work them 50 hours a week for that petty check. We know you're going to sell weed. So what we're going to do, we're going to have these laws, drug laws, that are going to send you to life for your 3rd strike on a petty drug charge. Now you have no chance. That's what
because they know you ain't going to work that little shit.
Exactly. You're doing what you have to do. You're just not doing what they want you to do. That's my point.
It's the same thing as predatory lending. If you got stupid ass people that are gonna fucking that you can sucker out of their fucking money, hey, by all means, I don't fucking blame you. If they're stupid enough to give up their fucking money, then hey, set it up and do it, man. Take their fucking money.
A person in the hood selling weed on the block doing the same thing that these people in Colorado are doing. It's just that they were educated. Their educational system in Colorado, California, that they're better. They're set up to teach these. Hey, when they legalize this is how you go. This is the protocol for doing what you have to do. In the hood, they ain't even talking about setting up weed shops, and those are the weed shops that make the most money. They're doing that for a purpose.
You just made my point, Patrick. Here's the
thing. Both of you guys are making great points.
White folks are educated. Black folks are not. And this is the thing. Instead of black folks working hard to educate themselves to do things legally, they just sit there whine and fucking complain like retarded ass 2-year-old fucking children.
You don't know what you don't know. It has to be taught to you. You don't know what you don't know. You didn't come out your mother's womb knowing how to fix a car or a plane. You had to be taught that.
Hey, guess what? Yeah, I fucking learned it on my own. I went and chased that shit. I
didn't learn it on your own. It had to be taught to you.
Okay, you know why? You know how it was taught to me? Because I'm the one that signed a dotted line and joined the military.
You wanted to learn it.
You had no idea about it. You had no idea about it. You got funneled into that dotted line. No, you got funneled into that.
I did not fucking funnel. I made a fucking choice. I went there myself and said, hey, sign me up right now. I'm ready to go today.
You just... I didn't have to do that. You wanted to go into the military.
No, it was.
See, Patrick, some people do have it in them to want to do something better than their surroundings. Some people get tired of seeing the bullshit and seeing everybody else not getting no goddamn well.
Sign your life away on a dotted line. It shouldn't have to be that.
Dude,
no, that's one option.
Wait, you said sign your life away? I didn't sign my fucking life away. You know how many? Dude, I got a fucking bachelor's degree, debt free.
I'm not saying your life is
shit.
over when
I
you sign
learned how to
that
be.
line.
I
I'm
learned
saying
how to
that
be
you
a
put your
fucking
life in other
leader.
people's
I learned how to fucking
hands.
fix airplanes. I got
I'm not saying your
I got
life
my
was
licenses,
over
all
when
that
you
shit.
signed the dotted line. That's not what
Well,
I'm
you said
saying.
sign
I'm
your life
saying
away, bro. You know how much shit I've gotten.
sign your life
doing.
over, not away. My bad.
Okay,
Over, not
all right.
away.
Okay, then that's different. But do you know how much shit I've gotten, bro? Look, check this out. I own my own fucking business. If my business fails, guess what the military provided me? It provided me the leadership skills, the management skills. I've got my licenses, my certs in aviation maintenance, and I've got a bachelor's degree in aviation maintenance, bro. I'm set the fuck up with plan B, and that's thanks to the fucking military.
I understand. But the military, again, like I said, the military in itself is a system. You have to be fit to that system. Everybody who
Everything's a
signs up,
fucking system,
you can't
bro.
get everybody out the hood. You can't get everybody out
Pretty
the hood
much.
to sign your name and you'll be successful. Come on now.
Everything's a fucking system, Patrick.
But it's a more controlled system, though. The military is way more controlled than the regular civilian world.
Get over it. So you're gonna let your ego dictate whether you have opportunities or not?
It's better to be controlled by the military than to be controlled by the penitentiary or the correctional system.
That's two different remedies. I didn't say it's
okay, now you're talking more. Now you're talking more control. At this point, that's an emotional ego thing, and that's my whole point. Black folks are emotional, and you let if you
telling you that everybody's not fit for the military. That's all I'm saying. You can't say the military one way out the hood for everybody.
Dude, you mean to tell me you can't sacrifice 4 years of your life and put your fucking ego down to get a lifetime of opportunities? You mean
most people don't do that. Most people don't do that. They don't make a small sacrifice for a small.
It's just an option. It's not something to look down.
I think it's only like 1% of the population joins the military.
And you know what? And they're fucking idiots. If they're in an impoverished area like Chicago or Baltimore or fucking Oakland, and they don't want to take that opportunity, they're a fucking idiot. They deserve everything they fucking get.
Give you another example. Let me give you an example. People who don't have money to pay for college, so they always take these loans out for their kids and shit. Every day, every pay period, they could save $20 away for college. They choose not to. This is regular Americans, white, black, Asian, Hispanic, everybody. Are they idiots for not making small sacrifices to set themselves and set their kids up for success? That happens every day. I look
at it like this.
Because they living for the day. They living for now.
They're fucking idiots for paying for an overpriced education when you can do 4 years in the military and get it for free. Guess what happened? When I was in my goddamn aviation trade school, all right? Me and all the motherfuckers that were in my class, guess what was the difference between me and them who hadn't joined the military? When we graduated the exact same day and we applied for the same exact fucking job, guess who's got the upper hand? Me, because I've got military on my fucking resume. I've already got the fucking 8 years of fucking aviation experience, where these guys have not had any fucking aviation type of fucking work. And guess what? They've got to hurry up and go out and fucking work and take whatever the fucking they can get their hands on to start paying that fucking college loan back off. Guess what?
That's what they telling my son.
I didn't have that fucking shit, bro. So why would you not take that advantage? Okay, I don't give a fuck. Guess what? The military wasn't fit for me either. I had to drop my ego and say I got to make a fucking sacrifice. I gotta fucking do. So that's what I'm saying. Not everything's gonna be fucking served to you on a silver goddamn platter. You gotta shut the fuck up, suck it up, and do what the fuck you gotta do.
I agree.
That's all.
I was on the same path. I agree with that. Yeah. All I'm saying is it's not black or white. I don't want people to think that it's not for everybody.
Basketball's not for everybody either. Football's not for everybody either. Being a CEO is not for everybody either. But you still got, if you got a fucking opportunity, you got to fucking take it.
But when you walk into McDonald's or Walmart and you see that person who's 50 years old working there, and people say, man, how do you get in that position to work there? That must suck. I'll never be that person walking around Waffle House at 50 years old. It's like they make a decision now that they had to do, like they had to survive or whatnot. But you can't be like, oh, you suck for doing this.
Well, a lot of people, they do it after they retired and they don't have anything else to do.
Man, Carla, most of them old people working at the register in Walmart and Waffle House, they doing it because they have to. That ain't by choice.
Well, a lot of them do have to, yeah.
Those are headaches.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, you know what? But here's the thing, though. They're not fucking. I give more kudos to them because they're not fucking.
I understand they're not poisoning the community or nothing.
Oh, living off is a nice.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying you say that, but at least they say, you know what? There's a situation I'm in. I need to get myself out of, so I got to pick my ass up and go to fucking work.
And go to work.
I understand that.
So I give them, and they're stepping out of
instead of trying to figure out how to get a free ride.
Exactly.
And I'm not going to sit here and say that you can save everybody. I'm not one of those people who think, bring a shitload of books to the poor neighborhood and everybody's going to learn what's in the books. I'm not saying that. Yeah. But what I am saying is you do have to acknowledge that there is a system there in place. That's what I'm saying. It is in place. It is.
There are several systems.
I have to disagree, man. I really do. And that's probably where we'll have to agree to disagree.
Yeah, I understand.
I just don't see it, man. I see too many successful black people that don't have this fucking handout
whining, bitching, complaining mentality that are fucking successful, man. They have it in their mind. They're not going to let anything hold them back.
But the people that have
too many black people that are successful right now that have the same mentality that I do, and the ones that aren't successful, I notice they all have that shitty ass fucking whiny fucking complaining mentality.
That's true. But the people that are successful today didn't have all these irritations and diversions and distractions as we do today. They became successful at a time where all you had pretty much was the library and the computer was probably just on a come up. You see what I'm saying? Now we live in an age where everything is a damn distraction. Like, ain't nobody got time, and everybody has what do you call it? Lack of time. No time or whatever. Everybody rushing. Ain't nobody got time for shit.
But you know what?
And ain't nobody taking the time.
A lot of that has to do with us having kids out of wedlock and before we're ready financially and mentally to have kids. That's a lot of the fucking problem. We pump out these kids at an early age, and we're not ready to have them.
When people are not ready, if you're not ready, or mentally, I think even mentally, you know, if you're not ready, if you can't take care of yourself or have it to where, you know, you're organizing your own life, I don't think it's wise to bring another life in.
Exactly.
At that moment.
Hey, check this out. I call this Leslie's triangle of baby making. Emotional stability, mental stability, relationship stability, financial stability. Once those three aspects are connected, then that baby should be introduced. If you don't have those three connected, there should be no fucking baby because you're not.
But have you noticed? Even if, okay, like in my case, right? Even if the parents didn't stay together, but those three things that you just said, right, were the groundwork. That was the foundation, okay? Have you noticed that the children act a little better? Like when, in other words, when you have that groundwork, what you just said, initial, it seems like the children's attitudes are a lot better than those that their parents just had sex and made a baby. They didn't go together. They didn't love each other. They just was banging on each other or something. Have you noticed that the children act a lot different?
Wait,
so in other words, what I'm saying is, like, I'll use an example as my son. When me and my son's father was together, I had a nice job. He had a very good job. We went together. We was boyfriend, girlfriend. You know, we had money. You know, I mean, we little apartment, whatever. Baby came along, okay? Had a little boy. Okay, maybe 2 or 3 years later, we broke up, okay? But the thing was, my son wasn't affected by none of that because we wasn't on some jungle bunny issue. Like, we wasn't arguing. We wasn't doing all this ratchet shit because, like you say, when you have a job, when you doing shit, you know what I'm saying? You don't have all that free time to be sitting around thinking about, oh, he was some other bitch and I'm gonna get him for some money and all that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like my son grew up being like well-mannered, funny as all outdoors, and he grew up in the hood. He grew up around where I'm outnumbered as a parent, meaning there are more hood fucking people that he could have picked up attitude from than me. My daughters did the same way.
Okay.
So my thing was, you're right. What I'm saying to you, Leslie, what you saying is right. Even if be it that be the foundation of creating a child, but before you create a child, make sure that be your foundation, that groundwork, pretense of having a child. Even though it may not work out later between you and that person, your children may still come up better than those that, your parents just fucked each other and just made you, and you one of them kids to just jump all over furniture and shit, be bad as shit, and do all kinds of bad shit. I call them little, you know what, God forgive me, I call them little fuck babies. That's what I call them. Them little kids that don't know how to fucking act. You know what I'm talking about. Y'all seen them.
Just be bad kids.
It's
all, little fuck babies.
At the end of the day, it's all about odds, okay? Now, can there be some great children that grow up in these single parent homes and stuff? Yeah, there could be, you know, but what are your odds? Your odds are way better if you have a mother and a father in the home that are financially responsible and stable, emotionally, mentally, responsible and
You're
stable.
absolutely
Your
right.
odds are much more greater. So that's what I'm saying.
But this is what's happening today, though, Leslie. You got people that mom and dad in the house now. But guess what? Daddy didn't probably lost his job. Now this nigga done started getting high. Now he started to talk shit to mommy now. Wait a minute, there's still a man in the house. You know what I'm saying? Now in front of that boy child, he's smacking the shit out of the mom.
Did you hear what I said?
Is that a good household?
Okay, did you hear what I just said? I said mentally and emotionally responsible and stable. So at that point, that person's not neither of those two. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. As a man, though, and that's another thing. If you're not emotionally or mentally stable, then you're gonna let one thing like losing a job fuck your whole life up to where you start doing drugs and drinking and all that. Me, if I lose my job or something happens, I'm not going into that shit. I'm gonna go and find the next avenue. If I gotta start my own business picking up dog shit out of people's yards, and that's what the fuck I'm gonna do. I'm gonna find a fucking way. I'm going to find a fucking way.
You know what? I think what causes men to like get into getting all depressed and shit after they lost job, this and that, because when they had some shit, they carried it like they was better than everybody else. You see what I'm saying? And by them like falling from grace, it became such an embarrassment that they couldn't even deal with themselves. So next thing you know, they start getting high this and the third. People like you that got it going on, and God forbid something happen where you slip or whatever, you'll succeed on the back end anyway, because you're not going around flaunting your fucking wealth and making it seem like you're better than everybody else because you got some shit or you doing something. And this is what I've noticed the two differences as far as males are concerned. The ones that be bragging, talking about, yeah, they the better nigga, this and the third. As soon as they end up with nothing, they end up being the worst little crackhead out here. Because they embarrassing and they embarrass, they're embarrassed and they can't deal with themselves at the end of the day. I've seen that in females. Yeah. You know, females that act like they better than everybody else. Yeah, even if they got a man. Oh, because they got this man, this particular man that's buying them shit all the time. Oh, yeah, bitch, I'm better than you. Now you ain't got that man, then you don't hear from that bitch. They all fucked up. She walking around with damn slippers on, going to the corner store. Like, what?
Yeah, I just think at this point
people need to be humble.
I think at this point our biggest problems are the kids being brought up in these shitty ass situations, these single parent homes. And I think, and you know what, the points that Pat was bringing up and that Chess were bringing up, I agree. You know, there have been a lot of problems, and I do realize that some of these problems have had an effect on the Black community. But I don't think we're at a point right now where we can dive into that. I think the self-responsibilities and building moral character are what we need to put all our focus and attention on now. Once we get our people to the point that they're morally functioning and they're financially stable and they're being responsible and taking responsibility for their actions, then we can start introducing the history and looking at the cause and effect of some of these situations, the correlations of some of these situations. That's when I think it should be introduced. But right now, we've noticed that with it being introduced at this stage, all that it's doing is being used to make excuses for dysfunctional behavior.
Yeah. Hey, Leslie, I disagree with that. It's not just being introduced, and I mean, you can't not, look at where you came from, right?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's not anything new. Some people try to use it to make excuses, and that's not right. But if you don't understand how does the cliche go? You have to understand your history so you don't repeat it, right? And when you're looking at root causes of problems, you have to look at history to even start coming up with a solution.
I know, I agree with you. I just think we're not in a position right now at this point because it's being used to make excuses instead of being used to identify certain problems. Once we get our minds to a certain point to be responsible enough to take that information and decipher it, then that's when I think it should be talked about.
I'm sorry, Chess, but from what I'm starting to hear and I've seen myself, I have to agree with Leslie. People are using that historical aspect as a fucking excuse. It's like, oh, you found out about this, that, and the third historically regarding Black people. Now you want to lay down and go sleep. You know what I'm saying? Now you want to be, fall back on your laurels. It's like, well, I can't. The system was already set up against me in the first place. Shit like that. So now, every time now, all of a sudden, people are comfortable doing nothing being about nothing, having nothing. So what? I don't care. I hear this all the time. I don't care. So, I don't care. You know, and it becomes a daily way of life. And you can see through the people in the neighborhoods. Nobody give a fuck.
Right, in some neighborhoods, that's true.
You know, it's just sad because, you know, it's like, well, if some shit ain't changed in 250 years, there ain't no sense in trying to do some shit now. See? That type of attitude. Because they don't see a whole lot of chess Nubians. They don't see a whole lot of Leslies out here. There's not a lot of black people that are a good example, especially that live close to the hood. Why? Because instead of being looked upon as a good example, upright citizen, they trying to figure out how to steal out your house and shit. They trying to track what time you leave your house and what time you come back.
Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you what. No matter what points we disagree on, um, I still, and you may say self-hate or coon or whatever. I'm not saying you guys specifically, but the one thing I will never ever do is tear down another black person or
Me neither.
fucking try to destroy him. No matter what, I respect Chess. I respect Patrick. And I see them as, you know, even though we disagree, I still see them as positive members of the community. Because I know you guys,
Oh yeah,
I know you
definitely.
guys mean well, and I know your heart's in the right place. So no matter
You
how
got no
much
love
we
for
may
me?
disagree, well, we see eye to eye, Carlotta. So you're already good in my
Carlotta,
book.
you're on his side.
Oh,
He's talking
alright.
about
Oh,
anybody that
alright.
he's just talking about people that oppose
I'm
most of
on
his
both of
Yeah,
y'all.
or
but
some of his
Go
views.
ahead.
here's the thing, though. I would never
I'm
take
sorry.
that.
Go
I
ahead.
would never take that disagreement and totally dismiss anybody, especially people of color. Like I know that if we got out
Right.
together as a community organization or a group, I think we all have the
It'll
same
come together.
goal of empowering and making the black community better. And I think we can come to a common ground to bring a program or bring a group of people together for that sole
Hell
purpose.
yeah. Yeah. That's right. Because
So
you know what? The whole
So you
argument that
alright,
has been
Leslie.
so
You alright.
is the
hey, no,
passion.
I know. I'm gonna tell you what. Hey, Chess,
The
Pat.
passion is the
Hey,
thing.
hey, I got much love and respect for y'all. Even though we disagree, I still got much love and respect for y'all. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh, no doubt.
it is what
Yeah,
it
and
No
is.
I
doubt, no
get
doubt.
linked on and told to shut up and all that old stuff.
Who told you to shut up?
You know
Carlotta?
what,
Leslie did it.
Carlotta. You know
Who?
what? I got nothing but
Leslie
love for you.
did it.
But you start bringing up these damn conspiracies and you throw the whole fucking topic all the
Yeah,
way to
you
left
you
field.
bring it
No,
all
I
over, boy.
So
don't.
Serious.
I gotta stop you before you
No,
take it all the way up the
I
left field.
don't.
But I got nothing but
No.
love for you too, Carlotta.
You know I love you, that boy. Stop playing. But it's like, I just be wanting to know, like, for real, something. Like, I don't read it anywhere. It's just that all of our information is coming from television and the internet, and I'm thinking what we see is being told to us. Like, how can we know that is valid? How do we
Well, that.
know this is true?
Well, I'm with Carlotta on that one too, though. You can't trust everything.
And I guess to stay straight minded, we just have to stay, you know, on the norm, stay a little bit close to the box, if not totally inside of it. You know, it's just that, I don't know, it's like information changes all the time, you know, and I'm like, what can you really believe? To be honest with you, I go a lot more by what I see personally.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
agreed.
saying? Like in our natural life, not on TV, not on. I'm talking about people, just watching people. To me, that's real. Listening to you guys or listening to other people talk, that's real to me. I have found facts from shit like that.
Yeah,
You know, but you know,
I think the best thing about this platform is showing that people who are on two totally different, especially black people, we're on two total different ends of the spectrum, but we can still be civilized and have a fucking discussion and talk and not hate
yeah,
each other.
Yeah,
And
that's what I
I think that's the biggest thing people can get out of watching
yes,
us and watching this platform.
yes.
Hey, Leslie, I have a quick question for you
say that.
Yes, Chess.
because you talk about FBI stats a lot. You ever heard? I'm sure you're familiar with COINTELPRO, right?
No, I don't think I've ever heard of that. No.
I've
Ah,
heard
okay,
of it.
good.
Wow,
I'm
what's
gonna have
that?
to, I'm gonna have to send you some stuff, but well, it's
Okay.
old school. But COINTELPRO is basically with the FBI and Hoover when he was in charge. But basically, how they if you want to, lack of a better word, conspiracy against the Black Panther Party, MLK, but how they fabricated so many different stories to infiltrate certain groups, etc.
Yeah.
So, and I just said that because, you know, like that's when I talk about stats and facts, like how much work do we really put into it, because a lot of that stuff is manipulated.
They release that
And-
information like
Right.
every 40 to 50 years or something. I
said,
think they
but-
release that
yeah.
information.
But and also too, you know, when we're talking about law enforcement, I mean, how many times have the law enforcement officers been busted lying, like what Dre was saying? And that's why I always say I really don't like to use stats, but I mean, I know you have to use them for some kind of basis. But it's all, I'm like Carlotta on the conspiracy. I'm like, how truthful is this information that I'm looking at? You know what I mean?
Somebody made it up.
But I see you some stuff on COINTELPRO. I'm surprised you weren't familiar with that.
Yeah, it's stuff that comes out. Like, it's, what do you call it? Top secret information that gets released from the government every so many years.
Hey, real quick, man. I'm gonna say something. Hey, Coach.
Yeah.
Hey.
Coach still
all
fussing?
all the bitch and all this telling people to get off your dick and all that shit. Hey, it's not tolerated, bro. I'm being fucking serious right now.
Yeah,
I've let the fun and games and shit ride for a minute, but you're taking it too far, bro. And I know you, and I'm cool as fuck with you, but I'm being serious right now. Cut this shit out, man. Cut it the fuck out.
Saying?
Andre, is that your friend?
He calling people bitches. He called Bella a bitch, and he called you a bitch.
Man,
wait, what the fuck just happened?
I got that dude. I got that dude on ignore.
Okay.
You call me a bitch?
I thought he was your friend.
I thought that was your friend.
No, coach is cool as fuck, man. I really like the guy. He's funny as shit, but hey, you're taking it too far, man.
Right.
You're taking
One
it
of
too
the things
far,
I
bro.
wanted to say, look, guys, we were going a little bit hard in the chat room. One thing I want to say is, Patrick, like, I don't know if you saw what I typed, Patrick. I need to learn from you how to keep the voice at that low.
Oh, that's what I thought you were talking about.
Pat, you got the voice.
I need to take some lessons from you, man. I need to, because I hate to say it.
Patrick made me think he's sneaky.
And I mean, you fought your topic well. I love the fact, I hate to say, this is why when I do the shows like these are nights like this, it makes me proud of doing what I'm doing, and to like come home from work and even be tired from work to get on here and do this, and we have debates like these. But literally, I did not plan on starting doing the show tonight. But then, even though our night started off horrible, this was actually a very good show to me. And I mean, for y'all two to go right at it, so different opposite ends of the spectrum, and you can see from points of view from each one, it just, you know, these shows like this is make me realize this is why we need to do this a lot more. And I want to thank all the people out there, the people in the chat room. I want to thank you guys, especially to everyone showing that Cooler Health Rebel. We can both be on totally opposite ends of the spectrum, but then at the end of the day, we all still free. And that's what I love.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Because we grounded black folks, that's why.
I mean, we friends with everybody except motherfuckers that work Black Lives Matter. We don't like them.
Y'all love me. Come on.
And people that give brief intermissions of crackheads gone wild.
Wait, what? The hell?
What are you talking about, Carlotta?
Long as they not Black Lives Matter, you know, all right.
Crackheads gone wild.
Better be glad I can't get my logo up tonight. I gotta hit Zelix back up.
Okay. You got a logo.
Hey, somebody said.
Dre, I thought Coach was that. I thought that was your boy.
No, I think I don't know who Coach is. Who is Coach? I thought he was your boy, Leslie and them. But I said, yeah, just everybody realize keep it.
He cool with him, like, soon as he say something about girls.
So he's cool as fuck, man. He's a good guy, but just all the calling women bitches and all that stuff, man. That's not gonna be tolerated.
Look, Coach, whoever y'all were getting into it, I hate to say, I do admit I was not reading the chat. I saw stuff here and there, so that's why I said, notice I didn't jump in because I wasn't paying attention to it to know who said what first and this, that, and the other. And if I don't know enough information, I'll just say, hey, I'll just calm down, this, that, and the other. But I want to say thank you guys out there for watching the show. Please like, share, subscribe, and definitely hit that donate button down there because that's what keeps the show going. I want to thank you guys. Go ahead and say goodbye, everybody.
All right, see y'all later.
Goodbye, everybody.
See you later. See you later.
Have a good one, guys.
All right.